At the fourth academy, Tich Kim Long, the headmaster, folded his arms and his clear voice rang out, "Students, today you step into another world to receive your professions and register as players. Entering this formation, the system will determine your profession." Headmaster Tich Kim Long continued, "Whether a heroic swordsman, a knight with unrivaled strength, an assassin of unmatched swiftness, or a mage with powerful firepower, all obey the choice of fate. I believe you can each become outstanding in your field. I will not speak at length." Tich Kim Long shouted, "Activate the profession-changing formation." Kyo-do stood at the center of the formation, thinking to himself, "I was reincarnated into this world 18 years ago, and I've finally waited for this day." Kyo-do told himself, "My name is Kyo-do. This place is Kai Vu Star, a parallel world with a level of development similar to Earth. The difference is that since humans began to pioneer, other worlds suddenly appeared. Various dungeons of differing difficulty appeared across the world, and people can become players at 18. Players use the abilities of their professions to challenge dungeons, level up by killing monsters, and gain attribute points to increase their power." Kyo-do entered the system's world. The system's voice sounded, "Welcome player Kyo-do to the other world for the first time. Would you like to begin drawing your profession?"
Kyo-do answered, "Draw."
He silently prayed, "May the ancestors of the Kyo family bless me and grant me a good profession." The system's voice sounded. A giant skull suddenly appeared behind Kyo-do, emitting an eerie aura. The system continued, "Congratulations. The player has drawn the hidden profession, Necromancer." Kyo-do looked at the eerie aura surrounding him. The system added, "Death Mage." Kyo-do shouted in excitement, "Hell yes, that's awesome. Ancestors, you're freaking amazing." He continued, "The Spirit Necromancer is an extremely rare profession. There are only a few in the whole world. With a staff raised, countless souls of high-level creatures can be summoned from the gates of hell. With enough mana, one person can stand against armies. With a staff raised, countless souls of high-level creatures can be summoned from the gates of hell. With enough mana, one person can stand against armies." Kyo-do skimmed the system screen and said, "Generally, those who draw this hidden profession are extremely lucky players. Let's see what my personal attributes are." The system screen displayed a notification.
Name, Kyo-do.
Profession, Spirit Necromancer. Tier, Apprentice LV1. Strength, 10.
Constitution, 8.
Defense, 6. Agility, 9. Spirit, 0. Mana value, 10 tenths. Life value, 10 tenths. Skill points, 0 out of 10. Kyo-do looked at his info panel as if struck by lightning. He grabbed his head and shouted, "What the hell? My spirit is 0. A necromancer with 0 spirit." Kyo-do felt crushed and collapsed to his knees. Initial attribute points are distributed randomly based on a player's profession. The maximum for each category is 10, and the most important stat for mages is spirit. If it's below 5, what's the point of playing? At that moment, the system asked Kyo-do, "Would you like to begin drawing talents?" With tears streaming, Kyo-do replied, Draw. I don't care anymore. Destroy it. Okay? Even if I draw an S-tier talent, it's useless." A progress bar for drawing talents appeared on the system screen. A few seconds later, the system announced, "Congratulations. The player drew the talent, the Courageous Heart of the Mage. Rank, Unknown. Reward, 10 free attribute points." As the announcement ended, countless brilliant beams of light rose from beneath Kyo-do. The system displayed another info panel. Talent, the Courageous Heart of the Mage. Passive effect. When player Kyo-do is detected killing an enemy via melee combat, they receive bonus free attribute points. Active effect. Once only, the player can raise the values of all other attributes to match the points of one chosen attribute. Restriction. Before using the active effect, it can only be bound to a single attribute. Kyo-do was stunned by the system announcement and shouted, "Oh my god! Am I seeing this right? Free attribute points are extremely rare. They are only awarded when leveling up. If you want to raise attributes further, you must cultivate on your own. Kyo-do read his info panel again. This passive talent grants free attribute points simply by engaging in melee combat with enemies. The active effect can only be used once, but it can raise all attributes to the same value. He looked at his stats. Strength, 10. Defense, 10. Agility, 10. Spirit, 10. If I use the active skill now, I could become an all-around fighter, all attributes at 10. It's extremely rare in the newbie phase for every attribute to reach 10. Kyo-do stroked his chin thoughtfully. But if I wait until strength reaches 1,000, or even 10,000 or 100,000 and then use it, a spirit necromancer with every attribute at 100,000, that would be a true all-around warrior. Kyo-do smirked and continued thinking. To trigger the passive, I have to fight in melee, right? For that fighting style, isn't strength the most important stat? Kyo-do raised a hand and shouted, "System, put all 10 free attribute points into strength for me." The system's voice rang out immediately. "Congratulations, player Kyo-do. Attribute increase successful, strength plus 10. Kyo-do's info panel instantly updated.
Name, Kyo-do.
Profession, Spirit Necromancer. Tier, Apprentice LV1. Strength 20.
Constitution, 8.
Defense, 6. Agility, 9. Spirit, 0. After receiving the system notification, Kyo-do said, "Next is to register and complete the newbie quest. Only by finishing the newbie quest can you officially receive your profession." Suddenly the system's voice announced, "Transporting you to the newbie quest giver." No sooner had it spoken than Kyo-do's figure vanished.
Moment laté, Kyo-do appeared elsewhere.
In front of him stood an extremely beautiful female sprite with long golden hair. She smiled at Kyo-do and said, "Hello player. My name is Yen. I'm your guide. How can I help you?" Kyo-do looked at the female sprite and thought to himself, "She's so pretty. She's really just an NPC?" Kyo-do said to her, "I'm here to register and receive the newbie quest." The sprite handed Kyo-do a gift box and said, "No problem. Glad to help. This is your newbie gift box." As Kyo-do received the box, the system announced, "Congratulations player Kyo-do on receiving your first equipment. Newbie robe. Newbie staff. Congratulations. Player has obtained skill book. Skeleton summoning art." Kyo-do looked at his equipment. The robe seemed merely decorative. And with spirit at 0, he couldn't use the summoning art anyway. But then Kyo-do picked up the staff and a pleased look crossed his face. This stick is actually quite practical. With 20 strength, it'll be great for bashing heads. Kyo-do turned to Yen and asked, "Sister Yen, what's my newbie quest?" Yen replied slowly, "Your quest is," she spoke as she opened a spatial gate. Yen continued, "Escape the Mist Cave." She added calmly, "Be careful with the Mist Cave escape quest. Do not kill the skeletons. You must flee by the fastest route. Otherwise..." Before she could finish, a black shadow shot past her and leapt into the spatial gate. Yen looked where Kyo-do had just stood and found the spot empty. Bewildered. "Huh? Where did he go?" The black shadow that entered the gate was Kyo-do. He was already inside the portal. Shortly after, Kyo-do appeared inside the mist cave. He muttered, "I think the NPC was about to say something else earlier." Kyo-do thought for a moment and shook his head. "Whatever. Not important. The newbie quest probably isn't that hard." He looked around and said, "Why are there so many skeletons here?" No sooner had he finished speaking than a skeleton appeared behind him. It held a short sword and lunged to attack Kyo-do. Kyo-do spotted it immediately and spun around. "What is that?" Instantly the system displayed an info panel. Common wild monster. Skeleton soldier. Rank, LV1. Life value, 20/20. Strength, 5. Defense, 0. Agility, 1. Kyo-do watched the charging skeleton soldier, quickly drew his staff and raised it high. He swung the staff hard, striking the skeleton soldier's face and immediately reducing its life by 20. The skeleton soldier lost all its life and died instantly. Its body slowly dissipated, leaving only a skull on the ground. Kyo-do looked at the remaining skull and muttered, "It's dead? Can't use magic. This is a tough fight." The system immediately announced, Detected player Kyo Do killed a skeleton soldier via melee combat. Reward: 1 free attribute point. Experience +3. Congratulations to player Kyo Do for killing the first wild monster by melee. Awarded passive skill A rank. Miracle Strike. Upon hearing this, Kyo Do said, "A rank? Is that for real?" The system continued with another message. Miracle Strike skill effect. Each 1 point of player strength equals 2 attack points. Kyo Do said, "Strength determines physical damage. Defense determines damage mitigation." Shortly after, the system displayed his info panel.
Name, Ki-Udu.
Profession: Spirit Necromancer. Tier: Apprentice LV1. Strength: 21. Attack ×2. Defense: 6. Agility: 9. Spirit: 0. Kyo Do clenched his fist and reasoned. 1 strength equals 1 attack point. If this skill turns 1 strength into 2 attack points. So if the opponent's defense is 0, one of my strikes would deal 42 damage. This skill is terrifying. At that moment, countless skeletal arms shot up from the ground behind Kyo Do. Skeletons slowly crawled up one by one, each wielding various weapons. Kyo Do turned to look at the group of skeleton soldiers and thought, "Forget it. The top priority now is completing the newbie quest." The skeleton soldiers that had just emerged from the ground surged forward to attack Kyo Do. Kyo Do immediately spun around, ready to respond. He simply swung his staff repeatedly at the skeleton soldiers. Each hit reduced their life by 20 and they died instantly. The system's voice sounded. Detected player Kyo Do defeated 4 skeleton soldiers via melee combat. Reward: 4 free attribute points. Experience +12. Congratulations to player Kyo Do on leveling up. Current experience: 520. Reward: 5 free attribute points. A blue light surrounded Kyo Do. He thought to himself, "Leveled up. With the extra 4 attribute points from killing skeletons, my strength is now 30. Keep in mind, a newbie reaching 10 in an attribute is already considered a prodigy." The system then displayed Kyo Do's info panel.
Name, Ki-Udu.
Profession: Spirit Necromancer. Tier: Apprentice LV2. Strength: 30.
Constitution, 8.
Defense: 6. Agility: 9. Spirit: 0. Mana value: 40/40ths. Life value: 20/20ths. Experience: 5/20ths. Kyo Do rubbed his chin and thought, however, the mist cave probably contains more than just skeleton soldiers to grind levels. If that's all, it would be too simple. No sooner had the thought left his mind than a loud noise came from behind. A huge creature burst out of the ground. The system immediately displayed a notification. Common wild monster. Skeleton soldier captain. Rank: LV3. Life value: 50/50. Strength: 15. Defense: 20. Agility: 1. Kyo Do looked at the monster before him and thought, strength of 15? If that thing hits me, won't it puncture my lungs and spill my guts? Kyo Do gripped his staff tightly and swung it, preparing to attack. He thought again, but its agility is only 1. Strike first while it's slow. Kyo Do swung his staff. The monster immediately raised its shield to block, then counterattacked him. But Kyo Do quickly dodged. Kyo Do thought, this one attacks while using its shield to defend. Its strength could even smash the ground. He watched for a moment and quickly spotted an opening. There's an opening. Kyo Do immediately changed the direction of his attack, swinging his staff hard into the monster's waist. The skeleton lost its balance and fell to the ground. Kyo Do leapt up, looked down at the monster on the ground and thought, now's the time. Kyo Do shouted, take this! He raised his staff high and slammed it down onto the skeleton's head. A crushing blow struck, immediately reducing its life by 50. The monster died on the spot. The system announced, detected player Kyo Do defeated the skeleton captain via melee combat. Reward: 3 free attribute points. Experience +10. Kyo Do planted his staff in the ground, exhaled, and remarked, that was a strong opponent. He added, if the newbie quest is this difficult, I wonder how others manage to complete it. At that moment, A golden orb emitting sparkling light appeared before him. Kyo-do picked up the golden orb and said, I remember the headmaster saying that defeated wild monsters may drop soul pods. Opening them can grant random rewards. I wonder what this will contain. Kyo-do opened the soul pod. The system immediately introduced the received item. Skeleton gauntlets, one-time use, grade D. Effect. After use, the next attack will be a guaranteed critical hit. Kyo-do looked at the item and complained, why is it a one-time item? If it were permanent, that would be great. Just then, there was noise behind Kyo-do again. Another group of skeletons continued to crawl up from beneath the ground. Kyo-do hurriedly turned his head and muttered, still more. He frowned at the number of skeleton soldiers appearing. And even more keep coming. Kyo-do immediately went on the offensive again. He thought to himself, even at LV2 my life is only 20, pathetically low. If a skeleton manages to stab me, I'll die instantly. Despite that thought, Kyo-do still charged forward to attack. The system's voice kept ringing. Experience +3. Reward 1 free attribute point. Experience +3. Reward 1 free attribute point. Experience +3. Reward 1 free attribute point. Experience +10. Reward 3 free attribute points. Experience +10. Reward 3 free attribute points. After a period of fierce fighting, the system announced, congratulations player Kyo-do on leveling up. Current experience, 2030. Reward, 10 free attribute points. Kyo-do quickly wiped out the remaining skeletons. He thought, luckily their agility is only 1. Then he said, leveled up again. Let's see the new attributes. Immediately the system displayed Kyo-do's new info panel. Name, Kyo-do Profession, Spirit Necromancer Tier, Apprentice LV3 Strength, 46 Constitution, 8 Defense, 6 Agility, 9 Spirit, 0 Mana, 80 out of 80 Life, 30 out of 30 Experience, 20 out of 30 Talent, The Brave Heart of the Mage, Rank Unknown, Skill, Miracle Strike, A rank. At the same time, outside the school, groups of students were gathering. One asked, what profession did you draw? The respondent answered, I drew the warrior class. This time I can bring honor to my ancestors. Another said, most people have already received their professions, right? A student asked, why hasn't the headmaster declared the end yet? The person beside him replied, could there still be people inside? The other immediately said, no way. The task is so simple. If someone takes that long, how will they survive out there later? Another student laughed. The skeletons inside may be dangerous, but they're very slow. They can't catch us. If someone fails or even dies inside, we'll laugh ourselves silly. Everyone burst out laughing. Hong Jung-daik also stood in the crowd, her face worried. She thought to herself, why hasn't Kyo-do come out yet? Could something have happened? Meanwhile, Kyo-do was still inside the mist cave. He muttered, surely I've cleared all the skeletons this time? Why hasn't the quest completion been announced? No sooner had he finished than a mournful voice sounded. Oppressing the skeletons too much. Kyo-do startled and became immediately alert. The skulls lying scattered on the ground suddenly seemed pulled upward by a force and slowly floated into the air. Kyo-do stared at the scene before him in confusion. The skulls rose high and gradually gathered together into a mass.
Kyo-do muttered, skeleton, combining together.
The ground began to tremble violently. Streams of greenish energy surged up from beneath the earth. Soon after, a gigantic bone monster appeared before Kyo-do. The creature let out a thunderous roar. The system immediately displayed an info panel. Common Boss, Skeleton King. Status Wounded. Rank LV10. Life Value 400/500. Strength 45. Defense 60. Agility 1. Skills Bone Spikes, Bone Burst.
Kyo-do expression d'Arkane d'Instant Lit.
He said, are you kidding me? The newbie quest spawns a boss like this. It's basically sending new players to their deaths. The Skeleton King raised its weapon high, preparing to strike. It brought the weapon down with full force, and the ground immediately shattered. Kyo-do nimbly jumped up to dodge. He landed and exhaled. Luckily I avoided that. Getting hit by that would be the end. Kyo-do stared intently at the Skeleton King. He calculated inwardly. This boss is powerful, but its agility is still that slow. That's my only advantage. Its defense is 60. I wonder if my strength can break through its defense. Kyo-do planted his foot and pushed off the ground for momentum. In an instant, he burst upward and attacked the monster's flank. Its life was reduced by 32. Kyo-do thought, the attack worked. Although it only took off 32, that means if I hit the Skeleton King a dozen or so more times I can win. With that in mind, Kyo-do acted immediately. He nimbly swung his staff repeatedly against the creature's body, causing its life to drop continuously. Minus 32. Minus 32. Minus 32. Finally, the Skeleton King collapsed to the ground with a tremendous crash, scattering earth and stone. Looking at the monster lying on the ground, Kyo-do thought, so this boss only looks terrifying? It has about 200 HP left, almost finished. But immediately after, Kyo-do's face turned to astonishment. The Skeleton King slowly rose, its mournful voice ringing out. In this mist cave for so many years, I've never seen a player kill skeletons. If too many skeleton soldiers hadn't been slain, I wouldn't have fallen into this wounded state. Immediately, the Skeleton King's aura grew strangely stronger. Its aura suddenly became mysteriously more powerful. It continued, now a new player can shatter my defense. I absolutely cannot allow you to leave alive. Kyo-do hastily backed away and shouted. It seems its power has increased. The Skeleton King raised its weapon and launched a series of attacks at Kyo-do. While dodging, Kyo-do thought, its speed has increased too. The Skeleton King unleashed another powerful strike. Kyo-do nimbly leapt up to evade again, thinking through a solution as he dodged. Direct frontal attacks aren't working. I need to find a way to restrict its actions. Kyo-do watched the Skeleton King chasing him intently. Suddenly an idea flashed through his mind. That boulder behind it looks like it's about to fall. He continued to dodge an attack, then quickly moved to the monster's left side. Kyo-do stopped right beside the Skeleton King's left flank. Above him loomed a massive boulder. Kyo-do looked at the Skeleton King and shouted tauntingly, "Come on, you big oaf!" Seeing Kyo-do close by, the Skeleton King immediately swung its weapon to attack. But this time Kyo-do didn't dodge. He raised his staff to block the blow. A tremendous force sent him flying backward. Kyo-do's life immediately dropped by 26. The Skeleton King's weapon kept smashing into the cavern wall. Kyo-do thought, just grazed and my HP is nearly gone? The system instantly displayed, name, Kyo-do life value, 4/30. Seeing Kyo-do hit, the Skeleton King raised its weapon, ready to strike again. Kyo-do gritted his teeth, his face tense. At that moment, the large rock wall behind the Skeleton King began to shake and then collapsed. Kyo-do immediately slipped aside to avoid it. Massive boulders kept falling. The giant monster couldn't dodge in time. A loud explosion rang out. A huge volume of rock slammed into the Skeleton King, reducing its life by 70. The Skeleton King howled in pain. Arg! At the same time, the system displayed, common boss, Skeleton King life value, 129/500. Kyo-do broke into a sweat. He bit his lip and thought, I'm nearly exhausted. I must finish this quickly. While the Skeleton King couldn't get up, Kyo-do thought, I have to end it with one strike. With that, he leapt high into the air. Kyo-do said, Skeleton Gauntlets. Immediately a skeleton gauntlet appeared on his hand, accompanied by the system announcement. Skeleton Gauntlets? Item grade D, one-time use. After use, the next attack will 100% deal a critical hit. Kyo-do clenched his fist, channeled the gauntlet's power, and launched a powerful punch at the Skeleton King. The Skeleton King was pinned under rubble, unable to move, only able to stare at Kyo-do in shock. Kyo-do delivered an extremely powerful punch straight into it. The Skeleton King's life was instantly depleted. Its massive body slowly disintegrated and then vanished. After Kyo-do defeated the Skeleton King, the system immediately announced, The newbie escape from the Mist Cave quest has been completed. Congratulations player Kyo-do on officially becoming a player of another world. Congratulations player Kyo-do, the mage class, for being the first to defeat the Skeleton King in the Mist Cave. Reward: 30 free attribute points. Immediately afterwards, a spatial gate appeared before Kyo-do. A soul pod also appeared behind him. The system continued announcing, detected player Kyo-do defeated the boss via melee combat. Reward: 10 free attribute points. Experience plus 50. First player to defeat the boss. Reward: level up 3 ranks. Congratulations on consecutive level ups. Current experience: 050. Kyo-do reached out and took the soul pod. The system issued another announcement. Player has completed the newbie dungeon. Boss kill reward: Ring of the Skeleton King. Kyo-do asked in surprise, you can get boss equipment too? Immediately the system displayed the item's info. Ring of the Skeleton King rank. See effect. When worn, the damage of the first attack is increased by 50%. Cooldown: 24 hours. Kyo-do held the ring in his hand and chuckled. Not bad. Although not as powerful as the skeleton gauntlets, it's permanent. A C-rank piece of equipment could sell for at least a few $100,000. I'm really striking it rich this time, he thought again. I'm the first to kill the boss. That means no one has defeated the Skeleton King until now. So how did the others pass the quest? Kyo-do shook his head. Whatever. I'll go out first and figure it out later. Having said that, he stepped into the spatial gate to leave the cave. The system screen immediately displayed Kyo-do's new info panel.
Name: Kyo-do.
Class: Spirit Necromancer. Rank: Apprentice LV5. Strength: 76.
Constitution, 8.
Defense: 6. Agility: 9. Spirit: 0.
Mana: 200.
Life: 50-50. Experience: 0. Talent: The Brave Heart of the Mage. Rank unknown. Skill: Miracle Strike. Rank A. Equipment: Ring of the Skeleton King. Rank C. A few seconds later, Kyo-do reappeared at the Academy's training ground. The moment Hung Jung-daik saw Kyo-do, she ran over joyfully, hugged him, and shouted, Kyo-do! Kyo-do was startled and hurriedly asked, What are you doing? Hung Jung-daik said worriedly, What were you doing in there? Why did the newbie quest take so long? I thought something had happened to you. Kyo-do asked in surprise. Everyone else finished long ago?
Hướng Dương địch nốt đét. Yes.
You came out 3 hours after the person before you. Kyo-do asked again. Right, what class did you get?
Hướng Dương địch Riplit Chefalin. I got mech.
She even joked excitedly. Mage, you know, Avada Kedavra. Kyo-do watched her happiness and thought, Weird. Did we enter the same dungeon? Just then, a blonde-haired student approached and said irritably, Kyo-do, so you're the last one out. The person was class monitor Ma-fi. He crossed his arms and said arrogantly, Humph, you just got the looks. What's the use of being handsome? Talent in the other world is what really matters. Guess what my class is?
Kyo-do expression sourde.
He thought to himself, why does Ma-fi always pick on me? But before they could argue further, the principal spoke up. Principal Tich Kim Long said loudly, All of you have registered in the other world. Tomorrow the whole class will form groups to participate in the newbie training. Now let's introduce our classes and talents so we can get to know each other. As soon as the principal finished, the class began to introduce themselves excitedly. All of you have registered in the other world. Tomorrow the whole class will form groups to participate in the newbie training. Now let's introduce our classes and talents so we can get to know each other. The moment he finished, the class began to introduce themselves. A male student said happily, I'm a warrior, talent rank D. Another said, I'm an assassin. Someone else sighed, my talent is rank F. This life is hopeless. A brown-haired girl spoke up, I'm a healer mage class. As soon as she finished, a group of male students lined up behind her, chanting and teasing, Wet nurse!
Vet nurse.
The system displayed her info panel.
Name: Chịu tử nguyệt.
Class Healer. Rank Apprentice LV2. Strength 3. Defense 6. Agility 5. Spirit 6. The system displayed the info panel.
Name, chịu tử nguyệt.
Class Healer. Rank Apprentice LV2. Strength 3. Defense 6. Agility 5. Spirit 6. Then it was Ma Fai's turn. He arrogantly said, "My class is Sword Cultivator. Talent rank B." The system displayed his info panel.
Name, Mã Phi.
Class Sword Cultivator. Rank Apprentice LV3. Strength 9. Defense 6. Agility 8. Spirit 4. Those around him immediately gasped and whispered, "A sword and a wine gourd, clear grievances." Sword Cultivator is an extremely powerful class in the other world. The class monitor really is the teacher's favorite. Principal Tich Kim Long nodded in satisfaction upon hearing this. He thought happily, talent rank B already counts as a genius. This cohort doesn't look bad. Then he announced loudly, "Next."
Kyudu.
When Kyo-do heard his name, he stepped forward. He said, "My class is Spirit Necromancer and my talent." He stopped halfway, hesitated, then continued, "My talent, I can't reveal it for now." Kyo-do thought inwardly, "Only the system knows. I don't even know what rank my talent is myself." Kyo-do thought to himself, "Only the system knows. I don't even know what rank my talent is." The students around him buzzed with excitement. Whoa, is that real or not? There was once a spirit necromancer who, relying only on himself, wiped out an entire guild. Ma Fai, standing nearby, listened with some skepticism, but then sneered inwardly. So what if he's a spirit necromancer? Mages are known for low HP, poor defense, and are easy to defeat. The worst thing is getting closed in on. Besides, spirit necromancers must frequently interact with spirit creatures, so their physical constitution is weaker than normal. Summoning takes a long time, so they need teammates to protect them. Violent classes like assassins or sword cultivators are the natural counters to spirit necromancers. Thinking this, Ma Fai looked at Kyo-do with a mocking smile at the corner of his mouth. "Not saying your talent rank? Humph, probably too low to want to tell." Meanwhile, the other students were still exclaiming. One said, "Wow, look, Kyo-do isn't arrogant at all. Is this the demeanor of a genius?" Another said, "He drew a hidden class and is still so humble. No wonder I'm not as good as him." Is this the difference between a genius and a normal person? Even his temperament is calm. If I drew a hidden class, I definitely wouldn't stay as composed as Kyo-do. Hearing the continuous praise, Kyo-do could only force a bitter smile inwardly. He thought, if a spirit necromancer can't use spells, then his power is only slightly above ordinary people. Tomorrow's newbie training, I don't even know if I can protect myself. If everyone finds out then, what if I can't even summon a spirit creature? The principal looked at Kyo-do with pride. He thought to himself, Kyo-do finally seems to have seen the rainbow after the storm. After completing the newbie training, this kid should be able to get into the country's top university. After all the students finished introducing themselves, the principal said, "All right, students, today's class is over. Go home and prepare for the newbie training tomorrow." On the way out of the academy, Jung-hung Daik draped an arm over Kyo-do's shoulder and grinned. "Kyo-do, you're secretly the type who could punch an elephant to death. Awesome. Why didn't I get the spirit necromancer?" She put a hand on her hip, smiled with squinted eyes, and continued, "But luckily my spirit is 8, and my other stats aren't bad. This talent should be pretty decent, right?" A panel appeared before her. Name: Jung-hung Daik. Class: Mage. Rank: Apprentice LV2. Strength: 5 Defense, 6 Agility, 3 Spirit, 8. Kyo-do looked at her info panel, then at his own spirit equals 0. He could only say, "It's okay. Diligence makes up for intelligence." But inwardly he thought, normal people's stats are all single digits? So my 76 attribute points right now, isn't that crazy? Kyo-do had returned home. He opened the door, stepped in, and whispered, "I'm home." The house was fairly quiet. Kyo-do looked at the framed photo on the table. In the picture were his parents. He thought, "This is the house my parents left behind after they disappeared. Every time I come home, I say the same line, 'I'm home.'" In his memories, whenever his parents returned home, they said the same thing, "We're home." The photo on the table was Kyo-do's family picture. He picked it up, his gaze growing heavy. In his memory, his parents in this world were warm and kind. When Kyo-do was about 5 or 6, his parents said they had to take a trip to the capital. He recalled their last meeting when he was small. After that, his parents suddenly disappeared mysteriously. From that day on, Kyo-do became an orphan. Kyo-do held the photo and murmured softly, "It's been a year. Where are my parents? Exactly?" A resolute will flashed in his eyes. "I must get into the university in the capital. Only then can I investigate the truth." Time passed quickly. Before long it was the next day. The principal stood on the podium and looked down at all the students. He said with a serious expression, "For today's newbie training, I have only one requirement." He emphasized each word. "If you are not certain, you must exit immediately, even if you fail. But absolutely do not die inside." Then he softened his tone and reassured them, "You don't need to worry too much. Normally the newbie dungeon is fairly low danger. Players almost never die. But there are exceptions." The principal frowned slightly. He continued, "There was a serious incident in the past. A newbie dungeon completely wiped out a class of 40 students. No one survived. Even no sign of the living, no bodies for the dead." The whole class fell silent. The atmosphere grew heavy. The principal spoke slowly. "To this day no one knows how terrifying that dungeon was. All we know is its name." Hearing that, many students' faces tightened. Seeing this, the principal smiled lightly. "Don't be so tense. As long as you escape the other world in time, there will be no danger. Now, get ready. When the countdown reaches 0, you'll enter the other world." In the Great Hall, all the students watched the countdown clock. 7 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 1 second, Kang. The clock chimed as the hand hit 0. The principal announced, "Newbie training begin." Immediately, black beams of light struck the ground from above. All the students were teleported into the dungeon. When they opened their eyes, the students found themselves standing before the gate of a remote village. The sky was gloomy. The air was cold. Some students began to worry. Is this the dungeon we have to clear? The atmosphere is so bleak. At that moment, Ma Fai, as class monitor, stepped forward at once. He shouted confidently, "Don't worry. With me, Ma Fai here, I'll definitely keep everyone safe." From the dark corner inside the village gate, a pair of pale green feet slowly stepped out. But Ma Fai stayed composed, turned around and said, "Everyone follow me inside. I'll lead you through this dungeon." He glanced at Kyo-do walking behind him and sneered inwardly.
Kyo-do.
"So what if you're a spirit necromancer? I'll show the class. Only Ma Fai deserves to be leader. The strongest in the class is me." Kyo-do noticed something was off. His expression grew pensive. He thought to himself, "Strange. What kind of dungeon is this? Why is there no system notification?" From the darkness stepped out an old man with strangely bluish, pallid skin. He looked at the students and sighed. "What a pity! So many young people. Such a pity." Ma Fai immediately took a fighting stance and shouted, "Who are you? An NPC?" Kyo-do calmly asked, "Sir, what do you mean by that?" The strange old man looked at them and slowly said, "Welcome to Mong Yem village." No sooner had he finished speaking, purple lightning suddenly appeared in the sky. At that moment the system finally issued a notification. "Welcome players to the newbie training ground. Mong Yem village difficulty. S rank, newbie." A dungeon info panel appeared before all the students. Notice, the difficulty naming for the newbie training ground differs from regular dungeons. S rank, newbie, is almost equal to E rank of a normal dungeon. Objectives: 1. Survive and escape Mong Yem Village. 2. Uncover the secret of Mong Yem Village. After reading the notice, many students panicked at once. Mong Yem Village? Isn't this the place no one has ever cleared? This is the place that wiped out 40 students. Immediately a few people turned and ran. They cried in terror, "I want to go home. I'm not playing anymore." Meanwhile, Ma Fai still tried to reassure them loudly. "Everyone calm down. With me, Ma Fai here. I'll definitely lead everyone out of here." At the back, Kyo-do was thinking rapidly. No wonder. The previous class failed entirely. The dungeon's objective is to uncover the secret of Mong Yem Village. He recalled the otherworld's power hierarchy. Ranks are divided into apprentice, level 1 to 10, primary, level 11 to 20, intermediate. High Kyo-do thought, an E-rank dungeon. You'd at least need to be primary to clear it. But we're just students. All of us are only at apprentice level. How could we possibly clear it? Some people ran for the village gate. Boom! An invisible force immediately slammed them back. The students cried out in panic. "What's going on?" "Whenever you get near the village gate, you're pushed back." The strange old man spoke slowly. "Don't waste your strength. Once you've stepped into Mong Yem Village, you will never get out." At that remark, the atmosphere instantly collapsed. Some clutched their heads. Some dropped to their knees. Some screamed and sobbed. "It's over. It's over. We're possessed by ghosts. We're going to die here. I don't want to die. My family is rich. I don't want to die. But we're just students. All of us are only at apprentice level. How could we possibly clear it?" He looked back at the strange old man. "This uncle looks very odd. But he doesn't seem malicious. Maybe he's not an enemy." The old man then spoke. "Don't worry too much. Since you're here, stay calm." Ma Fai heard this and confidently stepped forward, saying, "I understand. You mean we should relax and face it confidently, right?" The strange old man turned to look at Ma Fai, then said calmly, "No." After Ma Fai finished speaking, the old man replied evenly, "What I mean is, if you're here, bury yourselves here." Everyone froze on the spot, faces stunned and speechless. But then the old man laughed and continued, "All right, I'm not teasing you. I am the village chief of Mong Yem Village." He introduced himself. "My name is Aura." Then Chief Aura began to announce the village's rules. He looked at everyone and said, "There are 2 rules in Mong Yem Village. Rule 1. You may choose any empty house in the village to stay in, but the black stone on the door must never be touched." Then he continued with a serious expression. Rule 2. Before nightfall, everyone must return home and securely close the doors and windows. No matter what happens, do not open them. Hearing that, Kyo-do asked, "Chief, why can't we go out after nightfall?" Ora smiled mysteriously. "When night comes, you will understand." Time passed quickly. Before long, night had fallen. All the students decided to follow the chief's instructions and find a house to shelter in. They split into 4 groups, 10 people each. Kyo-do's group also found an empty house. Everyone went inside and immediately bolted the doors. At that point, Ta-truck spoke up, "To ensure safety, tonight we'll all sleep on the 2nd floor." True to Noyet came over to Kyo-do and smiled. "Kyo-do, if anything dangerous happens later, remember to protect me, okay?" She winked mischievously. "My class is healer. I can heal a lot of HP for you."
Hơ riêng thát, tạ trúc imeditan interjet, chịu tử nguyệt.
Have some dignity. So many classmates are watching. True to Noyet crossed her arms and loudly said, "I like it that way. Can you handle it, you airport luggage?" Ta-truck shot back immediately. "You think being a dairy cow is so great?" True to Noyet refused to back down. "Better than being nothing like you," Ta-truck angrily retorted. "That's just your fat." Kyo-do stood by watching the 2 argue, half amused and half exasperated. But at that moment, he suddenly noticed a student acting strangely by the window. The student kept staring outside. Suddenly his eyes filled with tears from emotion. He trembled as he said, "Grandma, Grandma, I miss you so much. A frail old woman appeared outside the window. She trembled as she said, Avu, my good child. I'm so cold. It's so scary out here. Can you open the window for me? Give me a hug? The student named Avu immediately nodded. Grandma, I'll open it right away. Seeing that, Kyodu shouted at once, Stop! That's not your grandmother. But it was too late. Avu had already opened the window. Immediately, the kindly old woman's face changed. Her eyes turned blood-red. A grotesque smile spread across her mouth. Then she lunged straight through the window. Avu had no time to react. Tears still on his face, he trembled and said, Grandma, Grandma. In that critical moment, whoosh, a golden spear appeared. At the same time a shout rang out, Golden sand bind. A torrent of golden sand spiraled up, encircling the demonic old woman. It was Junghung Daika's power. He shouted, Run back here. I can't hold her for long. Avu panicked and sprinted back to the group. Within the mound of golden sand, the demonic old woman slowly reverted to her true form. The system displayed the info panel, Wild Monster, Normal Mong Yem rank, Level 3 HP, 50/50 Strength, 25 Defense, 5 Agility, 25 Skill, Charm. A female student looked at the monster's info and exclaimed in horror, This Mong Yem is only a normal wild monster? An S-rank newbie dungeon. Even the small monsters are this scary? The Mong Yem broke free from the golden sand. It let out a roar and lunged straight at Junghung Daika.
Dương địch panic and L. Ew.
Don't come over here. Eating this much fatty meat. You'll get high cholesterol, diabetes, and hypertension. Kang. A shield of light appeared before her. All of Mong Yem's attacks were blocked. The shield had been created by Ta Truck. She gritted her teeth, defending while shouting loudly, Junghung Daika, fall back.
Triệu Tử Nguyệt. Transfer blood.
Kyodu, summon a spirit to hold this Mong Yem. Everyone immediately responded, Got it.
Triệu Tử Nguyệt quickly cast a spell.
Healing art. A greenish light surrounded her body. She reached her hand forward. Instantly 5 streams of healing energy continuously transferred to Ta Truck. Ta Truck's HP began to recover. Ta Truck gritted her teeth and thought, As long as everyone coordinates well, taking care of this Mong Yem won't be hard. Just buy a little more time. Ta Truck suddenly opened her eyes wide in surprise, because Kyodu had been standing beside her all along. In his hand he held a staff, and he was charging straight at the Mong Yem.
Dương địch immediatang sao tét.
You don't use a staff like that. Getting close to the Mong Yem, you'll die. But Kyodu didn't stop. He raised the staff high. Then whap! The staff smashed straight into the Mong Yem's head. Its HP dropped straight to 0. The Mong Yem was destroyed on the spot. The entire process. In a single blow. The surrounding air fell into absolute silence. Its HP fell to 0. The Mong Yem was destroyed on the spot. The entire process. In a single strike. The surrounding air fell into absolute silence. Another male student said in bewilderment, A spirit necromancer fights like that? Kyodu calmly retracted his staff. Then he told everyone, After a Mong Yem dies, it turns into a black stone. But this stone is gradually dissipating. Everyone immediately moved closer to look. Sure enough, the Mong Yem's corpse had transformed into a black stone. Ta Truck examined it closely and said, Exactly like the symbol on the doorframe. All are items of Mong Yem village. Perhaps that's not so strange. Kyodu looked at his hands. He thought to himself, Weird. I clearly killed the monster with my bare hands. So why didn't my attribute points increase? Ta Truck saw him brooding and asked, Kyodu, did you notice something? Kyodu shook his head. Nothing. I must be overthinking. That night passed safely. The next morning, everyone gathered outside the house. The students in Kyodu's group were talking, Oh my god. We're so lucky Ta Truck and Kyodu were here last night. Yeah. Just thinking about it still gives me chills. A male student whispered to his friend, Following Kyodu was definitely the right call. He's really strong. He killed the Mong Yem in an instant. A female student nearby immediately added, "That's not all. Last night Ta Truck stood in front and formed a shield against the Mong Yem. She's impressive too." Hearing that, Ma Fai sneered inwardly. He thought, "Humph, if I had been there, I certainly wouldn't let a girl like Ta Truck take the hit. Hiding behind a girl. What kind of man does that make you?" Hearing that, Ma Fai sneered inwardly. He thought, "Humph, if I had been there, I certainly wouldn't let a girl like Ta Truck take the hit. Hiding behind a girl. What kind of man does that make you?" Kyodu saw that odd behavior and smiled, asking, "Class president? Training this early in the morning? Diligent, aren't you?" Junghung Daik chimed in at once. "Exactly. If you weren't this diligent, how could you be class president? Just in diligence alone you're ahead of many." Receiving the praise, Ma Fai was pleased, though he still pretended to be aloof. "Ahem, I was just training a bit." Just then Ta Truck stepped outside. Ma Fai immediately approached her and said, "Ta Truck, tonight, stay in the same room as me. I won't let you take hits anymore." Ta Truck frowned. "But my role is tank. If I don't block, can you hold it?" Ma Fai looked a little flustered and said, "No, I mean I can handle a Mong Yem on my own. You won't need to step in at all."
Ta Trúc imeditan rito, Mã Phi.
That's the wrong way to think. The teacher said we must unite and help each other. You can't expect to shoulder everything alone. She looked at Kyodu and added, "You should learn more from Kyodu." A loud shout rang out, "Round them up!" All the students jumped. Kyodu turned his head immediately. They saw Chief Aura leading a crowd of villagers, advancing with fierce momentum. He shouted, "Don't let a single one escape. Tie them all up. Burn them at the stake. Use fire to cleanse their crimes." Then he added coldly, "If anyone resists, kill them on the spot." Hearing this, Ma Fai immediately stepped forward. He said, "Chief, is there some misunderstanding?"
Ora replied coldly, "No misunderstanding."
"What you did last night. You surely haven't forgotten, have you?" From behind, Kyodu observed the villagers. He thought to himself, the number of villagers is almost equal to ours. Their ages are comparable too. Ma Fai continued, "You mean that we killed a Mong Yem last night?" Upon hearing this, Chief Aura angrily roared, "Shut up! That was the guardian spirit of Mong Yem village. You certainly violated the village's rules last night. That's why the guardian spirit punished you." He was so angry he trembled. Now the guardian spirit will surely be enraged. When that happens, the entire Mong Yem village will suffer disaster. He pointed at the students. "You deserve to die 1,000 deaths. Deserve to die 1,000 deaths." Seeing the situation escalate, Ma Fai tried to calm him. "Chief, if we accidentally killed the guardian spirit, is there any way to make amends?"
Ora snorted coldly, HMPH.
"There is a way, but do you dare do it?" Ma Fai asked. "What way?" Aura looked at them and slowly said, "You angered the guardian spirit. So, when night falls, you must stand outside your houses. Wait for the guardian spirit to come judge you." He stared at them with cold eyes. "Do you have the guts?" Hearing that, Ma Fai's expression immediately changed. Doubt began to creep into him. He thought, the Mong Yem monsters in the village. How many are there? No one knows. There could very well be more hidden dangers outside the house at night. Isn't that just walking straight into death? Kyodu finally spoke up. "Fine. I killed the Mong Yem, so I'll stay outside and wait until night falls." Ma Fai heard that and turned to Kyodu. "Are you crazy? You don't have to show off like that. If you do that, you'll die." Then he turned to the village chief. "Chief, sorry. This classmate of mine isn't very bright. Don't take him seriously." Kyodu smiled at Ma Fai. "Don't worry, class president. I'm not crazy. I have a few things to verify that might help everyone escape this world." The chief heard this and shouted, "All right, tie this brat up." After that, Kyodu's hands were bound in iron chains, and his whole body was hung on a wooden cross-shaped post. When it was done, the chief and the villagers left. Ma Fai asked Kyodu, Kyodu, what do you mean by saying you can help us leave this world? Ta Truck also asked, have you discovered the secret of Mongyem village? Kyodu smiled and replied, something like that. Wait until tonight and we'll confirm. Night quickly fell. Only Kyodu remained tied up outside. A Mongyem appeared on a nearby roof. It slowly approached Kyodu, then leapt off the roof intending to attack from behind. Kyodu seemed to have been waiting for precisely this moment. He opened his eyes instantly and gave a slight smile. At that moment a voice rang out. The shimmering binding of earth and sand, along with a large amount of golden sand, appeared again, surrounding the Mongyem.
Dương hướng địch sao tép, Mã Phi, ACT now.
I can only restrain the Mongyem for 1 second.
Mã Phi replit confident. Don't worry.
This Ma Fai will protect you all. As a true sword cultivator, one man with one sword can cut down every enemy in the world. No sooner had Ma Fai finished speaking than the Mongyem turned to attack him. Ma Fai immediately thrust his sword forward to block the strike. Inwardly he panicked. Its speed is too fast. Could a mage like Kyodu really kill that thing? He quickly regained his composure, tightened his grip on the sword, and prepared to charge. He vowed to himself, if Kyodu can do it, so can I. Ma Fai unleashed a sword chi technique to break the defense, causing the Mongyem to lose 5 HP.
Why Mã Phi and The Mộng Yến Classic repeat 10. Triều Tử Nguyệt and Tạ Trúc Mô Vét Cơ Lô To Kiều Du. Triều Tử Nguyệt Calet Ô Út, Kiều Du.
Kyodu asked, why did you all come out here? Didn't I tell you to wait inside? Ta Truck explained, we were afraid you'd be in danger out here alone, so we came to help. Everyone can support each other. Ta Truck began fiddling with the iron chain wrapped around Kyodu's wrist and said, this lock needs Ma Fai's sword to cut it, but he's still busy over there. How can we remove it? Kyodu calmly said, no need. Saying that, he just slightly moved his wrist. The iron chain immediately shattered. Kyodu held his arm out and said, see, isn't that enough? True to Noyet and Ta Truck were speechless at the sight and asked in bewilderment, Kyodu, are you really a spirit necromancer? Meanwhile, Ma Fai was struck by the Mongyem and cried out in pain. Ta Truck immediately summoned her shield and shouted, Ma Fai, we're coming to help you.
Triều Tử Nguyệt, Heo Mã Phi quickly.
True to Noyet immediately replied, got it. Then she cast a healing spell. Ma Fai struggled to stand and said firmly, no, I can do it. The truly strong are forged in battle. Scars are a man's medals. Jung Hung Dike stood to one side, anxious, and shouted, Ma Fai, don't fight it head-on anymore. Try slashing at its head. The Mongyem's weak point is its head. Yesterday Kyodu tapped its head with his staff and it died immediately. Ma Fai heard this and smiled. I see. I should have thought of that from the start, right? Kyodu watched Ma Fai continually aim for the Mongyem's head and helplessly explained, about that, Ma Fai, actually the Mongyem's weak point isn't its head. Ma Fai ignored Kyodu's words, fought on enthusiastically, and replied, Kyodu, you're scared, aren't you? You're afraid I'll surpass you. You need teammates to handle a Mongyem, while I only need a sword. Ma Fai gathered strength in his sword and shouted, watch carefully this next strike and then ask yourselves why. Ma Fai executed an attack technique on the Mongyem, causing it to lose 10 HP. As soon as he finished, he asked himself and then answered, because this slash looks really cool. After attacking, he saw the Mongyem still had 35/50 HP, while he had only 15 to 45, and anxiously demanded, hey Mongyem, what are you doing? I hit your weak point. You should die instantly. Jung Hung Dike, are you sure its weak point is the head? You don't mean to get me killed, do you? True to Noyet was equally bewildered and said, that's not right. Kyodu only hit the Mongyem's head once and it died. You're not as good as Kyodu. Ma Fai, wounded in pride, thought bitterly, I'm not as good as Kyodu, a sword cultivator like me. Can't kill monsters better than a spirit necromancer.
Tạ Trúc sao tét, rubbing sand into Mã Phi so wow. Mã Phi, come here.
With your current HP, if you keep fighting you'll definitely die. In this state you'll be killed in an instant and no one can save you. Let Kyo-do handle it. Hurt in pride, Ma Fai ignored everyone's advice. He seemed to explode with power, calmly eyed the Mong Yen before him, and said, Sword Chi, break its defense. Ma Fai swung his sword repeatedly at the Mong Yen, reducing its HP by 30. Ma Fai saw the Mong Yen lying on the ground with only 5/50 HP left and said, One final strike. He thought, I must kill this Mong Yen. I have to prove I'm not inferior to Kyo-do. But at that moment, a staff suddenly appeared and gently tapped the Mong Yen, draining the last of its remaining HP. Ma Fai saw this and gaped, shouting, What? Kyo-do picked up the Mong Yen's soul core and said to Ma Fai, Good job, class president. Ma Fai stomped in anger and yelled gloomily, Kyo-do, what are you doing? I killed it. That's my credit you stole. Watching Kyo-do walk away calmly, Ma Fai grew even more resentful and shouted, Everyone saw it. I fought that Mong Yen alone. Kyo-do, you despicable little rat, stealing others' credit. Jung Dike hurriedly intervened. Class president, let it go. Kyo-do looked at the soul core fading in his palm and thought, As expected. Still nothing. At that moment, 2 more Mong Yen appeared behind them at the same time. True Tu Noyet immediately cried out, More Mong Yen are coming. Jung Dike panicked as well. This time it's 2. What do we do now? Kyo-do shouted to everyone. Get inside. No need to fight them anymore. I think I've figured out how to leave this place. Everyone quickly ran into the house and bolted the door. The 2 Mong Yen couldn't get in and were blocked outside. Ta Truck asked aloud, Kyo-do, what do you mean by that? Kyo-do smiled and replied, You'll know tomorrow. Until then, follow my instructions. The next day, the old village chief returned with the villagers, angrily demanding, Those filthy people from outside. I gave you a chance to atone. I didn't expect you to make things worse. And you even killed one of the guardian souls. You will all go to hell. Go to hell. The chief was enraged and shouted, No matter what you say today, you must die. I won't allow you to leave Mong Yen village. Kyo-do remained calm and said, Chief Aura, are you sure you and these people are natives of Mong Yen village? Chief Aura immediately barked, Nonsense. Our ancestors have lived in Mong Yen village for generations. Don't try to stall for time. You're all as good as dead. Kyo-do's face grew serious as he slowly said, Now that things have come this far, it's time to expose the truth about Mong Yen village. There is only one truth. Chief Aura coldly asked, What do you mean? Kyo-do pointed one by one at the people behind the chief and said, That is you, and her too. Everyone in this Mong Yen village are not original inhabitants of Mong Yen. Kyo-do said with conviction, You are all people who died in Mong Yen village. He continued to explain, From the moment we entered this place, we have been inside an illusion. Therefore, we cannot escape this world. Hearing this, the old chief laughed loudly. Ha ha ha! Illusion, my foot. Are you crazy? You're afraid of dying and invented lies to trick us. What you say is just your story. There's absolutely no evidence. Kyo-do smiled confidently and said, Of course I have evidence. Kyo-do held the dark stone out. The chief saw it and shouted, Guardian stone! You dare take down the guardian stone? For that you should be killed 10,000 times. Immediately after, the members of Kyo-do's group likewise produced identical stones. It wasn't just Kyo-do alone. Chief Aura bellowed, The guardian stone is a sacred talisman that protects us from night raids. If anyone dares touch the guardian stone, the Great One will surely unleash divine punishment. Kyo-do held the stone and calmly explained, This is not a guardian stone. The entire illusion of Mong Yen village is created by these black stones and the mysterious talismans above them. If you break this black stone, the dream will collapse. After explaining, Kyo-do shouted to everyone, Everyone, smash them! Immediately, the group began smashing the black stones. When the stones shattered, a strange, massive crack suddenly appeared in the sky. At the same time, all the villagers of Mong Yen clutched their heads in pain. The memories sealed away in them gradually returned. One person holding his head said, "Headmaster, don't worry, I'll lead everyone back safely. As long as we stick together, we can complete the newborn training mission. Then, I'll take the Capital University entrance exam." Another said, "I want to get into Tsinghua and become an outstanding mage." Someone else panicked, "Mongyem village? What kind of dungeon is this?" "Ah, don't be afraid, everyone. We will definitely leave this place." Someone else suddenly cried out in alarm, "Everyone? What's happening? Where is this? I'm your village chief." The villagers with strange appearances gradually regained their original forms. The village chief also said dazedly, "I remember now. Am the class president." At that moment, the system's voice rang out, "Ding! A player has successfully discovered the secret of Mongyem Village. Awaken the residents of Mongyem Village. Quest complete. Rewards will be distributed according to each player's quest tier." Hearing this, everyone cheered with joy. "We passed! We passed!" The system announced again, "Ding! All players are being teleported out of the dungeon." Those who had regained their original forms were one by one teleported away. Before leaving, that class's class president turned back and said, "Thank you, everyone." After they disappeared, Junghung Daik turned to Kyo-do and said, "Kyo-do, thank goodness for you. How did you know this was the way through?" After they disappeared, Junghung Daik turned to Kyo-do and said, "Kyo-do, thank goodness for you. How did you know this was the way through?" But after a while, nothing happened. Kyo-do's group remained standing in place. They were not teleported out. Ta Truck asked in confusion, "Why are we still here? Didn't we clear it already?" At that moment, the system's voice sounded again, "Ding! Congratulations to the 5 players for dismantling Mongyem's dark formation. New quest unlocked. Seize the heart of Mongyem."
Quest difficulty. Rank E.
At the same time, at the academy, the principal's loud voice rang out, "What? You passed the Mongyem village stage, but Kyo-do and the others still haven't returned." The principal frowned and wondered why. Could a hidden quest have been triggered? If so, and they managed to complete it successfully, universities across the country would compete to recruit them based on this achievement alone. The principal continued thinking, but hidden quests are usually extremely dangerous. This is the hidden quest of Mongyem Village, and they're all newcomers. Can they really finish it? Meanwhile, in Mongyem Village, Kyo-do and the others were heatedly discussing how to proceed. "What do we do now? I'm only level 3. Everyone's ranks are similar. Our current strength is weak. Charging into a hidden quest is basically suicide." Kyo-do cleared his throat a few times. "Ahem," Junghung Daik guessed. "I get it. A hidden quest is a once-in-a-millennium opportunity in the other world. Kyo-do, you must have known from the start that smashing the black stone would trigger the hidden quest, which is why you told us to read together, right?" Kyo-do glanced nervously and nodded repeatedly. "Yes, that's right." Junghung Daik laughed loudly and hugged Kyo-do. "Brother Kyo, it's no wonder I always call you Brother Kyo. Such a precious hidden quest. You didn't hog it and even willingly shared the opportunity with everyone." Ma Fai watched and thought, "I didn't expect Kyo-do to be so generous to share such a big opportunity. Just wait. Although I ranked below him in this newbie training, I'll finish this hidden quest before him." While they trembled and debated, a Mongyem arm suddenly appeared on a rooftop. Then 4 Mongyem emerged one after another from other roofs, charging straight at Kyo-do's group, howling in unison. The system displayed the info panel. Normal monster, Mongyem level, 5 HP, 50-50 strength, 25 defense, 5 agility, 25. The Mongyem lunged forward at extreme speed, continuously screaming, "Kill them all!" Junghung Daik panicked. "Oh my god! 4 of them appeared at once. How can we possibly fight them?" Ta Truck immediately warned, "Don't act recklessly. Too no yet. Always be ready to heal me." Ta Truck quickly created a shield, blocking one Mongyem's attack, and shouted, "Junghung Daik, restrain it."
Dương hướng địch an xua, understo.
Sand and earth instantly coiled and successfully restrained another Mong Yem. Ta Truck then shouted, "Ma Fai! Next strike!" Ma Fai charged forward immediately, shouting, "Sword Chi, erase defense." He unleashed a series of razor-sharp slashes, reducing a Mong Yem's HP by 10. Watching this, Ma Fai thought in surprise, "Why did my strike only remove 10 HP while one hit from Kyo Du killed a whole one?" At that moment, True Tu Noyet shouted, "Everyone hurry! My mana is almost depleted, and Ta Truck is nearly out of HP too." The Mong Yem kept battering Ta Truck's shield, causing her HP to drop faster than it could be healed. Fortunately, Kyo Du arrived in time. He swung his staff hard at a Mong Yem, instantly destroying it. The system immediately announced, "Detected player Kyo Du defeating a Mong Yem by brawling. Reward: 1 free attribute point plus 10 experience."
Tả trục sao tét, Kiều Du, Wat ô út.
2 more are rushing toward you. Kyo Du straightened up and indeed saw 2 Mong Yem sprinting toward him. He swiftly swung his staff, and the 2 were felled in the blink of an eye. The system announced, "Detected player Kyo Du defeating Mong Yem by brawling. Reward: 1 free attribute point plus 10 experience." After the 2 Mong Yem vanished, a glittering golden orb appeared before Kyo Du. He cheerfully exclaimed, "No wonder this is a hidden quest. The rewards are much better. Let's see what it is." The system quickly displayed the item info panel. Little Fairy Necklace rank. E effect. Increases skill damage by 5%. Mage only. Kyo Du looked at the gleaming golden necklace and thought, "This gear isn't bad, but I can't use mage skills. Too bad." While Kyo Du inspected the item, the other 4 chatted. Ta Truck said, "All dead." It was frightening but not truly dangerous. Everyone coordinated well.
Mã Phi Smuli Interjet, Si.
Ma Fai is pretty impressive too. Kyo Du turned to them, smiling. "Let's go. We need to find more Mong Yem to kill." He opened his character panel. Name: Kyo Du. Rank: Apprentice, level 5 strength 101 by 2 defense, 6 agility, 9 spirit, no value mana, 200/200 HP, 50/50ths experience, 40/50ths. Kyo Du smiled inwardly. Just 1 more Mong Yem and I'll reach level 6. Then the chance of getting gear that fits me will be much higher. This hidden quest is amazing. The group moved on. Along the way, Jung Hung Daik suddenly said, "Kyo Du, if I remember correctly, the hidden quest seemed to tell us to steal the heart of Mong Yem, right?" Kyo Du replied immediately, "The heart of Mong Yem must be on them. Killing the Mong Yem is the right move. Just follow me." No sooner had Kyo Du finished speaking than his foot unexpectedly stepped on an unusual tile. The tile gave way, bringing down a large amount of earth and rock, forming a gigantic, deep pit. The 5 members of Kyo Du's group had no time to react, and one by one they fell straight down. Kyo Du fell down, with a dazed expression, so startled he couldn't do anything. Luckily he wasn't injured, only bewildered as he scratched his head. "Where did we fall to? Why is the ground so soft?" Jung Hung Daik had Kyo Du sitting on top of him, face screwed up in pain. "Kyo Du? Can you get off me?" Kyo Du was startled, hurriedly scrambling up. "Damn. I was just wondering why the ground felt so soft." He turned to ask everyone, "Is everyone okay?" Ta Truck replied, "We're fine." The group began to survey the area where they'd fallen. Jung Hung Daik wrinkled his nose. "Why does it smell so bad here? Did we fall into a sewage system?" Ta Truck looked around and added, "It's not ventilated here. Excrement, urine, and the corpses of microorganisms all accumulate here. It's normal for it to smell foul." Just then, True Tu Noyet suddenly spoke, voice trembling with fear. "No, that's not it. Everyone, look over there. The stench is coming from its breath." The group immediately turned their heads to follow where True Tu Noyet pointed. Before the 5 of them lay a gigantic monster sleeping soundly. Each time it exhaled, a huge gust of air carrying a dreadful stench blew toward them. The system displayed the info panel. Rare boss, King Mong Yem. Sleeping. Level 10 HP. 1000/1000 strength. 65 defense. 20 agility. 60 skill. Charm, Mong Yem's illusion. Immediately after, a red warning panel appeared. Note: if King Mong Yem is awakened, it will go berserk and hunt down all players. Kyodu looked at the massive creature and thought, is this the rare boss? Same level 10, yet this King Mong Yem is far stronger than the Dry Tower King. Jung Hung Dike speculated, tell me, could the heart of Mong Yem actually be the heart of this King Mong Yem? Ta Truck stared at the giant monster, voice trembling. Or, should we try to escape this hidden quest? Its attack is 65. One hit and it could turn someone with a shield like me into a meat sandwich in an instant. Ma Fai tried to play it cool. If that's what you all think, I'll spare this King Mong Yem. Kyodu suddenly spoke up. No, there's still a chance. The group startled and turned to look at him. Kyodu thought it over. Right now my strength is 101. With the skill attack Miracle Strike, it reaches 202. Remembering the ring of the Dry King he just received, he continued calculating. Combined with that ring, the first blow could immediately take away 1/3 of King Mong Yem's HP. Next, if we hit its critical spots, we could possibly kill it. But this plan is like sticking your hand in the fire. One slip and King Mong Yem will kill us. Jung Hung Dike stepped forward and placed his hand on Kyodu's forehead. Brother Kyo, are you feverish? The monster is 10 meters tall, and you still say we have a chance. Kyodu turned to the others and said seriously, listen to me. Although King Mong Yem's stats are very high, its biggest weakness is clearly defense. By exploiting that advantage, Kyodu continued, attacking the enemy's weak points, we might still have a chance. Ta Truck quickly grasped the idea and asked, I roughly understand what you want to do. You want us to help distract it, right? Kyodu looked at Ta Truck and nodded solemnly. Yes, as long as you give me the opportunity to strike, I guarantee I can kill King Mong Yem. Kyodu's face was grave. Of course this is extremely dangerous. King Mong Yen's agility is far higher than ours. Its attack is something none of us could survive even once. So the four of you must work together to restrain it. The four responded at once. All right, we trust you. Ma Fai added, since you suggested it, I'll cooperate with you a bit. Jung Hung Dike forced a smile. Brother Kyo, I'm putting my tiny life in your hands. Ma Fai looked at Kyodu and added, if you can't beat it, don't push it. This boss is so strong. Running away won't be shameful.
Kyodu smiled confidently, don't worry.
Then the group rested a moment to recover their spirits. When everyone was ready, they began to execute the plan to attack King Mong Yen. Kyodu slowly approached the giant monster, thinking, as long as we don't attack first, it won't wake. The first strike is critical. I must find King Mong Yen's weakest point. He climbed onto its body and carefully searched. Suddenly, an odd spot on the creature caught his attention. Oh, what's this? It was a carefully wrapped orb emitting a pale golden light. Kyodu observed for a moment and guessed. It seems this is King Mong Yen's weak spot. Without hesitation, he raised his staff high. The system rang out. Activation of the Ring of the Dry King effect. Kyodu swung his staff with all his strength. The devastating strike immediately reduced King Mong Yen's HP by 508 points. Ma Fai and Jung Hung Dike watched with eyes wide and mouths agape. Ma Fai stammered. It subtracted how much? Jung Hung Dike also exclaimed, is that the damage a mage can deal? The system immediately displayed. Player Kyodu has extracted the heart of Mong Yen. The quest is being modified. King Mong Yen suddenly opened its eyes and woke in a fury. The system continued. Quest change successful. Current quest. Kill King Mong Yen. Difficulty. Rank A. The giant monster rose up angrily and flung Kyodu aside. He landed steadily on the ground and immediately shouted to the group. Everyone, get ready. Follow the plan we discussed. Create an opening for me to attack. King Mong Yem roared a resonant bellow. Humans? Rotten. King Mong Yem stood up straight, its colossal body looming clearly before the five.
Kiều Du sao tét lao ly, Mã Phi, chát.
Attack and draw its attention. Ma Fai immediately lunged forward, yelling, no need to tell me. He unleashed Blade Chi to break defense. King Mong Yem was hit and its HP instantly dropped by 1 point. Ma Fai stared at the number. excited. How did Kyo-do hit with his staff and subtract 508? I don't believe it. If a scratch is enough to brag about, my wind will cut you down. Then Ma-Fi attacked the king frantically and continuously. Its HP was whittled away bit by bit. -1, -1, -1.
Kiên Mộng Yểm finally noticed Ma Phi.
It turned its head and said in a hoarse voice, "If you want to die first, I'll oblige." Ma-Fi stood opposite, shouting a challenge. "Come at me, King Mong-Yem. A true man born in chaotic times should carve his fame with his sword. Why should Ma-Fi fear death?" Having successfully drawn the king's attention, Ma-Fi shouted, "Jung-Hung Dike."
Tả trục.
At the call, the two immediately launched attacks. Jung-Hung Dike wrapped sand and earth tightly. Ta-Truck raised a shield, and True Tu Noyet supported with healing light. The three together blocked King Mong-Yem's attack. Ta-Truck shouted, "I reduced its attack by 2 tiers. Combined with Tu Noyet's healing, we can barely withstand it." Ma-Fi barked, "Can't hold it much longer. Kyo-do, you ready? I'm about to be reborn." Kyo-do replied, "Here I come." He leapt up, gathered momentum, and struck hard with his staff into King Mong-Yem's flank. Its HP was reduced by 182 points. At that moment, the system sounded an alert. Warning. King Mong-Yem's HP is very low. About to trigger Mong-Yem illusion. Current HP, 336/1000. Kyo-do was fairly surprised by the notification. King Mong-Yem suddenly went berserk, letting out an ear-piercing scream. A demonic force radiated from its body, dealing area damage to the whole group.
Triệu Tử Nguyệt lost 11 HP. Tả trục lost 9 HP. Dương Hướng Địch lost 10 HP. Dương Hướng Địch cry out anxiously. Within Tuber.
The ritual's area damage? It's unstoppable. Kyo-do also lost 10 HP. He thought to himself, we can't let it get the chance. The aura group being trapped in the illusion so long is surely because of this skill. Without hesitation, Kyo-do quickly struck King Mong-Yem again, shouting, "Stop that ritual for me." Its HP was reduced by another 182 points. System announcement. King Mong-Yem, remaining HP, 128/1000. Kyo-do gritted his teeth. Still short by a bit, he gathered momentum, leapt high, facing the king's head directly. Those below were extremely worried at the sight. True Tu Noyet couldn't hold back and shouted, "Kyo-do, be careful. I have no mana left to heal." He concentrated all his strength and unleashed a single, very powerful strike straight to King Mong-Yem's head. Its meager remaining HP was completely drained. Kyo-do landed safely, and the system immediately announced, "Congratulations to player Kyo-do for killing the final boss in Mong-Yem village. Reward, 30 free attribute points. Detected player Kyo-do defeated the boss by brawling. Additional reward, 10 attribute points plus 50 experience. Congratulations to player Kyo-do for killing the final boss in Mong-Yem village. Reward, 30 free attribute points. Detected player Kyo-do defeated the boss by brawling. Additional reward, 10 attribute points plus 50 experience. When everyone saw King Mong-Yen had been defeated, they immediately cheered with uncontained joy. True Tu Noyet shouted, "We did it!" The system continued evaluating and announced. A skill book with an info panel appeared before each person.
Player Triệu Tử Nguyệt răng, yeah.
D-rank skill reward, Spring Wind Willowy Sweep.
Player Tả trục răng, C.
D-rank skill reward, Spiked Armor, Anti-Injury.
Player Dương Hướng Địch răng, C.
D-rank skill reward, Earthslide technique.
Player Mã Phi răng, C.
D-rank skill reward, One Sword Style Variation.
Finally, Kyu-du. Player Kyu-du rank A.
A-rank rewards, Experience plus 50. B-rank skill book, Spirit Channeling. Kyo-do reached out to take the soul core, thinking to himself, I can't use this skill yet, but is that all the boss's soul core contains? King Mong-Yen, you should give me something better. Right after, a gleaming golden sword appeared in his hand. The system displayed the info panel. Thou long sword. Rank, B. Effects, plus 100 attack power. Penetrates 30% of enemy defense. Plus 20% sword chi damage.
No cooldown.
Class restriction warrior. Rank requirement. Beginner level 11 and above. Kyodu looked at the sword with an expression of clear disdain. Oh my! I got a B-rank sword? In complete contrast, Ma-Fai behind him lit up, eyes shining when he saw the sword. Kyodu quickly tossed it to him. It's yours. Ma-Fai was surprised. Why are you giving me a B-rank sword? Kyodu replied. Aren't you the only one here who uses swords? I can't use it either. If not you, then who? Ma-Fai held the sword, voice trembling. Don't you know the value of a B-rank item? Many players spend money like water and still might not get this. If you sold it, you'd have enough to buy a house. Kyodu smiled faintly. It's fine. Just use it. He continued rummaging through King Mong Yen's soul core, searching carefully. After a while, Kyodu muttered angrily. This trash King Mong Yen really only had one piece of equipment. At last, resigned, he opened his character sheet, thinking, strength has increased quite a bit, but only 70 HP is far too little. Like paper, one hit and it's torn. The system displayed Kyodu's info panel.
Name, Kyodu.
Class, Spirit Necromancer. Tier, Apprentice LV7. Strength, 151. Monster Force Chaotic God ×2. Defense, 6. Agility, 9. Spirit Worthless.
Mana, 300.
HP, 70/70ths. Experience, 30/70ths. Talent, the Mage's Brave Heart. Rank unknown. Skill Miracle Strike. Rank A. Equipment, Ring of the Dry King. Rank C. Skill books, Dry King's Resonant Summon. Full rank. Spirit Channeling. Rank B. Kyodu flipped through the sheet and read the talent section. The Mage's Brave Heart. Passive effect. When player Kyodu is detected attacking an enemy by brawling, receive bonus free attribute points. Active effect. Unique, the player can raise the values of other attributes using points from any one attribute. Restriction. Before using the active effect, it can only be bound to a single attribute. Kyodu stared at the info panel, pondering. The passive restriction means I can't increase other attributes freely. I'll have to think of a plan later. How to survive like this. Stay calm, don't panic. The system voice rang out again. The hidden quest has been completed. Next, you will be transported back to the real world. Players, please prepare. Teleportation gates appeared simultaneously before everyone. Kyodu and the 4 others were quickly returned to the Academy Hall. Those around them cheered continuously. Kyodu! Kyodu is back. The class leader and Ta Truck came back too. Principal Tuet Kim Long hurried over. You finally returned. Kyodu replied, Good day, Principal. Tuet Kim Long said again, You've been gone for 2 days. I was worried you wouldn't come back. So what exactly happened? Afterwards, Kyodu and the group recounted everything that had happened to the principal. He listened happily. I told you you would surely open the hidden sub-level. This time is great. The 5 of you will definitely be a prize that top universities compete for. After the assembly ended, the 5 of them left together. The other students kept whispering, Wow! They could become geniuses chosen by top schools. Our class has these 5. Later, we truly deserve the title class of geniuses. When will I become as outstanding as Kyodu and the class leader? Ma-Fai looked at Kyodu and the principal talking nearby and thought to himself, Just you wait. Kyodu, next time I'll make you regret giving me the Thou Long Sword. With this weapon, once I reach beginner level 11, I'll definitely be able to beat you. At that moment, a man in a suit hurried in and announced to the principal, Principal, representatives from Hoatan University and Kindu have arrived. Seeing Kyodu's group standing there, he called out loudly, They're here to meet those 5 students. Principal Tuet Kim Long thought to himself, I haven't even reported this up the chain yet. Are top universities really this quick with the news? Looks like before I retire I can put a perfect period on my career. The principal then led Kyodu's group to meet representatives from Hoatan and Kindu. The 2 sides greeted each other warmly. A man wearing a cap said, Principal Tuet, Long time no see. The man beside him also smiled. Long time no see, Principal Tuet. Tuet Kim Long smiled with narrowed eyes and replied, Teacher Bon, Teacher Bowie. Long time no see. Ha ha ha. The representatives glanced at Kyo Do's group and said, So these are the 5 students who escaped Mongyem village and opened the hidden quest. Truly extraordinary. Then someone introduced himself. Hello? I'm Bon Luong Kai, admissions officer of Kin Do University. Our school is currently in great need of outstanding geniuses from other worlds like you. The bearded man with a cigarette glanced at Bon Luong Kai and said, Bon Luong Kai, do you really need to save face? You haven't even tested them and you're already trying to poach them. He continued, The test will verify your classes and abilities, collecting personal stats to see if you meet the admission standards.
Q du S face darken slightly.
He thought, If they test class abilities, I can't use my brawling skill. Won't that reveal my weakness? But I must get into Kin Do University to look for clues about my parents. Bui Hung Kwok asked loudly, Which of you will take the test first? Ma Fai stepped forward confidently with a sword in hand. I'll go first.
Âm Mã Phi, Sword Cultiva Apprentice, tá lần răng B, Level 5.
Bon Luong Kai observed Ma Fai from behind and thought, Just passed the novice training and already level 5 with a B-tier talent. This is a rare genius. Not bad, sharp eyes, sturdy build. Clearly a good fit for our Kin Do University. Bui Hung Kwok gathered strength in his hand and said to Ma Fai, Not bad. Try chopping at me. The system displayed Bui Hung Kwok's info panel.
Name, Bùi Hưng Quốc.
Class, Spear Cultivator. Tier, Mid-Stage Level 25. Strength, 300. Defense, 152. Agility, 53. Spirit, 24. HP, 500/500. Ma Fai smiled confidently and raised his sword. Be careful, Teacher Bui. He thrust his sword straight at Bui Hung Kwok while shouting, One sword style variation. Ma Fai's sword successfully pierced Bui Hung Kwok's shield, leaving him astonished. It actually penetrated my defense? Although my class as a spear cultivator isn't defense-focused, I'm still level 25. Bui Hung Kwok withdrew his shield and praised Ma Fai with a smile. Very good. Your one-sword style variation is a rare shield-piercing technique that can amplify the thrust's power. Well done. Ma Fai clasped his hands. Thank you for the praise, Teacher Bui. Bon Luong Kai stepped forward from behind, looked at Ma Fai and said, Not only that, using just the sword tip to break a defense shows your attribute strength must be quite high, at least around 35. And judging by your draw speed, you're fairly agile as well. The surrounding students were full of awe. Wow! Level 5 with 35 strength. This is a sword cultivator? No wonder it's the top attack class in the other world. Another said, If I also got the sword cultivator class like Ma Fai, my late grandfather could smile in peace. Bon Luong Kai thought to himself that such an outstanding student would surely draw the other side to Hoa Tan University. Just as he thought, Bui Hung Kwok spoke, Ma Fai, have you decided which school you'll join? The doors of Hoa Tan University will always be open to you. Bon Luong Kai promptly refused to be outdone and said, Come to Kin Do University. I'll guarantee the best study resources for you. Ma Fai smiled and answered, Maybe you teachers should test the other students first. I want to think a bit more. But in his head Ma Fai thought, Wherever Kyo Do goes, I'll go too. I want to surpass him. Bui Hung Kwok agreed at once. All right, continue the tests. Who's next?
Triệu Tử Nguyệt Stiphead Up, Triệu Tử Nguyệt, A Healer.
She stood in place and cast the spring wind willowy sweep. Green light enveloped her entire body. Bui Hung Kwok watched True to Noyet and thought silently. Not bad. A newly minted level 4 healer already capable of healing others. After True to Noyet, Ta Truck stepped forward for the test. Ta Truck created a shield while Bui Hung Kwok repeatedly attacked it.
Tả trục HP Slow DC 10.
After the test, Bui Hung Kwok's hand was slightly shaking. Bui Hung Kwok was very surprised, only level 4 yet such strong defense, and when he struck the student part of his attack power was reflected back at him. Bui Hung Kwok removed his cigarette and asked, Ta Truck, is that your skill? Ta Truck clasped his hands and replied, Yes, Teacher Bui. This is my D-rank skill, spiked armor counter. It can return 20% of the damage back to the attacker. Bui Hung Kwok continued praising, very good. Hitting the teacher and thus hitting yourself, for the shield class, there's nothing more practical than this skill. After Ta Truck returned to his place, Bui Hung Kwok said, next, Jung Hung Daik, step forward for the test.
Dương hướng địch Red Petful Riplit. Yes, teacher Bùi. Iama Mek.
Hearing that, Bui Hung Kwok mentally scoffed. What? A chubby over 300 pounds claiming to be a mage? Did they get the script wrong? Then he shouted, begin the test. Jung Hung Daik raised his staff and began casting a spell. But at first nothing seemed to happen.
Bùi Hưng Quốc stay at Dương hướng địch. Thing. Is this kid just posing?
I can't sense any magical fluctuations at all. At that moment, a golden aura suddenly surrounded Jung Hung Daik's entire body.
Dương hướng địch sao tét. Autuno ten chick.
Immediately the golden auras from his body shot down and struck the spot where Bui Hung Kwok stood, causing the principal's HP to be reduced. Bui Hung Kwok was startled, face full of astonishment. This technique had no warning signs. It just exploded beneath the ground where he stood. Even a level 25 spear cultivator like him, if not paying attention, could lose 3 HP, not to mention those of the same rank. This really is a 5th rank mage's technique. Then Bui Hung Kwok said, all right then, Jung Hung Daik, return to your spot. Kyo Du stepped forward and introduced himself. Kyo Du, Spirit Necromancer, LV7, talent rank unknown. From afar, Bon Luong Kai was very surprised. Level 7 is 2 tiers higher than the other 4 students, but talent unknown might mean the talent rank is too low to display, so he didn't dare comment. Bui Hung Kwok placed one hand on his hip and said to Kyo Du, all right, we'll test and see the results first.
Kyo Du obeyed, yes.
With a serious expression, Bui Hung Kwok thought to himself, let's see what kind of spirit creature you can summon. If a novice can only wound it once, fine, but if it's repeatedly wounded by novices, then I'm no longer fit to survive in the wild. No sooner had that thought finished than Kyo Du at a distance leapt forward straight at him. Bui Hung Kwok thought again. A spirit necromancer who doesn't summon spirits but charges at me? Looks like a spirit necromancer attacking at close range. Seeing Kyo Du clench his fists and prepare to strike, Bui Hung Kwok thought the student was really poor. Who would be foolish enough to wait for him to get close before casting? Wait, what is he doing? That hand posture. Kyo Du swung his fist hard into Bui Hung Kwok's face, causing him to spit a mouthful of blood and fly backwards. His HP immediately dropped by 200 points. Bui Hung Kwok was slammed backward and fell to the ground near Bon Luong Kai. Everyone there was stunned at the sight, and then loud murmurs and whispers erupted. What is happening? Kyo Du knocked down a level 25 teacher with just one punch. Bon Luong Kai looked at Bui Hung Kwok sitting on the ground and said, Old Bui, what's wrong with you? How can a single punch from a level 7 spirit necromancer put you in such a state? Spirit necromancers are known to have the weakest bodies. Kyo Du, are you related to him? Are you staging this on purpose? Hearing that, Bui Hung Kwok shouted, take his head off. He was utterly shocked, clenching his jaw and grinding his teeth. What kind of monster is this kid? One punch almost gave me a heart attack. Could he really be level 7? The surrounding students were still in disbelief. One said, am I hallucinating? Kyo Du actually knocked the admissions teacher flying with one punch. Another added, tell me, could Kyo Du before us be a summoned spirit creature, and the real Kyo Du is hiding somewhere? A third said, it must be. Spirit necromancers are supposed to have the weakest bodies, so how could one punch send the admissions teacher flying? Bon Luong Kai looked at Kyo Du very seriously, thinking the new student was somewhat terrifying. Fortunately, Bui Hung Kwok volunteered to be the examiner this time. Otherwise, it would have been his own face on the line. Kyo Du looked at the two admissions teachers and asked, Sir, is my test over? Bui Hung Kwok thought inwardly, this is the scariest one yet. Bon Luong Kai replied, Kyo Du, you can be said to have passed this test, but since you didn't demonstrate spirit magic, we can't accurately evaluate you. Kyo Du replied, it's fine, sir. I've thought it through. I want to join the martial path major of the warrior track. I think For now, even if I can't use spirit magic, the important thing is being able to enter Kin-Do University. Bon Luong Kai reached into his jacket, took out his phone, and told Kyo-Do, studying a major that's not your profession is unprecedented in educational history. I need to discuss this with the principal. Wait a moment. From Bon Luong Kai's phone came a voice. Little Bon, what's going on? Weren't you at the Tobacco Recruitment Academy? Bon Luong Kai loudly replied, Principal, here's the situation. I found a spirit necromancer with an extremely terrifying talent. He wants to join the martial path major of the warrior track. The principal on the other end hurriedly said, Stop, stop, stop. What are you saying? Bon Luong Kai helplessly repeated, Oh my, principal, I'll be brief. He's level 7 and was able to knock an Hoa Tan University admissions teacher flying with one punch. The Kin-Do principal was astonished. What? Little Bon, I give you the highest authority at Kin-Do University. Don't question the student's conditions, just agree and recruit him for us. If not, I'll personally invite him. Open the image. Meanwhile, behind them, Bui Hung Kwok was still fumbling, calling his own principal. Pick up, principal. Bon Luong Kai held the phone forward. A 3D image of Kin-Do's principal appeared for everyone.
Principal Cơ Bình Dương spoke warmly. Hello, Kyo-Do. I am Principal Cơ Bình Dương of Kin-Do University.
Would you like to join our university? Kin-Do has a long history and an outstanding faculty. Hearing the principal's continuous introduction, Kyo-Do interrupted. Principal Ko, you don't need to say more. I agree to study at Kin-Do University. No sooner had Kyo-Do agreed than Bui Hung Kwok's phone counterpart spoke. Hello? Chu-Fai? What's up? Bui Hung Kwok froze and replied blankly. It's nothing, principal. I'm a step behind. He thought to himself that the other students weren't bad either and he'd better snatch up some of them. But then the Kin-Do principal said, If you all are in the same class, why not all come to my school? It will be more convenient for you to help each other later. The 4 others moved to stand beside Kyo-Do. Yes, sir. Thank you, principal. Bui Hung Kwok, lagging behind, shouted angrily. You took them all? Kin-Do University, you people are too much. Bon Luong Kai beamed with pride, thinking to himself that this would be the most glorious moment in his recruiting career. Kyo-Do looked at the Kin-Do principal and asked, Principal, I have a few questions. Do you know my father, Du Tan? Ko Ben-Jung heard this and exclaimed, You're the child of Du Tan and Bak Tu-Ka. No wonder I felt so familiar the moment I saw you. Seeing that Ko Ben-Jung knew his parents, Kyo-Do hurriedly asked, Principal, do you know where my parents are now? Ko Ben-Jung looked at Kyo-Do and replied, They were once my students, but it's been over a decade and I haven't seen them since. All I can tell you is that your parents were very formidable. Ko Ben-Jung thought to himself that the 2 of them had disappeared with no news for over 10 years. Perhaps. His face saddened as he told Kyo-Do, Since they graduated, I haven't been able to learn more about them. I recall your parents often mentioned an exclusive dungeon.
Kyo-Do listened very seriously to Principal Cơ Bình Dương.
I must go to my exclusive dungeon. There are things my parents left there. Through the image, Principal Ko Ben-Jung addressed the students. All right, once the school finishes the admission notices, they'll send them to you. Before classes start, you should try to clear the profession-specific dungeons. That way you'll be rated more highly while studying here. With a stern demeanor, Principal Ko Ben-Jung encouraged them. Good luck. See you at Kin-Do University. 1 week later in the mage classroom, after the new students passed the academy's 4th level exam, they were sorted into classes by profession. Basically the sprint class before entrance exams that attracts many students chosen by prestigious schools. The 4th level academy mage class. In the classroom, the teacher's voice rang out. Today we'll briefly go over the mage's exclusive dungeon. On the podium, the principal seriously explained its meaning. A mage's exclusive dungeon usually tests everyone's mental strength, generally logic puzzles or decoding dungeons. So if you cooperate and think together, you'll get double the effect. Teacher Tuet Kim Long said solemnly, Next we'll cover the important points for passing. Elsewhere, a few gentle blue lights spread out. There stood a stone gate emitting a dazzling blue radiance. Kyo-Do and his companion looked toward the exclusive dungeon shimmering with blue light. Jung Hung Daik, Are we really doing this? Oh man, what could happen? Theory isn't as good as practice, and the more people enter the exclusive dungeon, the higher the danger. Hung Dike folded his arms and looked at him nonchalantly. Rather than letting them rely on you, it's better I rely on myself. At worst, we'll clear it first and then lead them through. After all, exclusive dungeons can be passed multiple times, they just won't grant rewards again. Then Hung Dike cheerfully shouted, "Hey energetic girl, we want to enter the exclusive mage dungeon." The NPC responded solemnly, "Understood, dear players." Selecting a dungeon for the 2 players, the exclusive dungeon gate gradually shifted to a purple-green with pink hues, forming an ever-stronger vortex. Selection successful. The exclusive dungeon chosen for the 2 players is the 10,000 Poison Lair. The girl looked at the 2 of them and said, "Go inside." Hearing that, Kyo-do stepped forward while Hung Dike quickly restrained him. "What are you doing? Haven't you heard the mission reminder?"
Kiều Du looked at hướng địch in surprise.
Mission reminder? There's such a thing? Hung Dike told him. Of course there is. If you don't hear the mission notification, how will you pass the Bone Cave stage? He then looked at him blankly and added, "Aren't you going to kill all the dry worms in that cave? Do bro, you're really good." The NPC gazed at them and slowly described the gruesome image of the 10,000 Poison Lair. Legend says that in Keem East South there is an ancient evil tribe skilled at breeding poisonous insects. Odd and cruel by nature, they can poison without detection. Victims writhe in unbearable pain. The parasites in the body spawn larvae that bite and devour the host's flesh until the host dies. They stepped through the gate. Mission requirements: 1. Find the legendary evil tribe. 2. Eliminate all poisonous parasites. Mission rewards will be based on the player's completion level. The system announcement kept sounding. Please note, the 10,000 Poison Lair requires 5 players to start. The system will automatically match 3 more teammates for you. Players, please prepare yourselves mentally. At the 10,000 Poison Lair dungeon, a group of players successfully formed a team. A young man looked at Kyo-do and Hung Dike and said, "So you 2 are the extra teammates we got? Don't slow us down." The girl beside him, displeased, said, "Long Thuong, don't be rude. If we're matched into a team, that's fate." The girl enthusiastically introduced everyone. "Hello you 2. I'm Thuong Vien, a fire element mage. This is my younger brother Thuong Tam, also a fire mage like me. And this is Long Thuong." Kyo-do's companion quickly introduced himself. "Hi everyone. I'm Jung Hung Dike. And he's Kyo-do. Let's cooperate and clear this stage together." On the wall before the gate were the large characters Vo Duk and Tu Kai. Thuong Vien said, "Those 5 characters carved on the wall must be a hint for opening the door." Long Thuong, weapon in hand with a blue-tipped point, said, "Why bother reading it? Watch me just open it." He thrust his spear toward it and a burst of blue energy shot out, striking the door. They were momentarily stunned. Attack ineffective. It seems this door has magic immunity and cannot be damaged that way. Better check the hint. What does Duk Vo and Tu Kai mean? Kyo-do pondered, ruling out magic. Thuong Vien, as if knowing the answer, said loudly, "I know. The solution is based on the Mandarin pronunciation. Duk Vo." Kyo-do, who had been silent, suddenly threw a punch that shattered the door into fragments. An impact strike created a miracle. Thuong Vien, unable to finish her sentence, stared in bewilderment at the destroyed door. Kai-do and Tu Kai. Long Thuong was equally stunned. It broke with one punch. This is a mage-exclusive dungeon? A notification sounded after the door was destroyed. Correct answer. Door opened. Hung Dike ran over quickly. "Strong punch, do bro." Kyo-do looked at his hand and said lightly, "I just wanted to see if the door could be pushed open by physical force." Who knew it was so fragile? The group walked into a strangely gloomy place. Along the path were elegant red flowers leading to another strange door ahead. Why are there flowers here? Kyo-do warned the team. Be careful with these flowers. I feel they're not normal. Hung Dike, his hand surrounded by black aura, said, You're a bit late, do bro. Look at my hand. Kyo-do looked at his own hand, which was also emitting black auras. Since when? Thuong Vien nearby wasn't much better. We're all poisoned. The system announced, HP 67/70ths. Poison status. -3 HP per minute. Hung Dike nervously looked at his hand. Kyo bro, what do we do now? Unlike Hung Dike, Kyo Do remained calm and handled the situation. Keep moving. Staying here is death. We must get out quickly. Everyone hurried forward. The red spider lilies continued blooming on the great door, which was full of inscriptions. My bo Luke Dak Kong Vong not Huyet not Quat Din Thien Dia. Long Thuong frowned and grit his teeth. Oh no, what is this again? Isn't this another puzzle riddle? Phuong Vien worriedly sweat. If we have to guess words again, we'll run out of time. Kyo Do punched the door down with another powerful strike and successfully destroyed it. He raised his fist straight and frowned. Your father wouldn't know this one. The group quickly passed through, all three matched teammates staring in astonishment. Long Thuong was the first to speak. Is this really a riddle-solving dungeon? Why does it feel like no thinking is required? Before them stretched layered mountains and forests. The system announced, congratulations, players completed Task 1. Successfully found the legendary evil tribe of the 10,000 Poison Lair. Long Thuong looked around and said, this is the 10,000 Poison Lair? Phuong Vien asked, where should we go next? Suddenly a sound made everyone start and look over. The sound came from the little girl in front. The girl, wearing a tribal-patterned outfit with a small bag at her hip, said, hello siblings. My name is Tudong. Are you people from outside? The girl eyed them sharply. Oh, are you poisoned? It's the red spider lily's poison. Tudong grew anxious and urged, quick, follow me back to the 10,000 spirit cave to detox. If the poison penetrates too deep, it won't be curable. Kyo Do thought to himself, when did this kid appear here? And did she just say 10,000 spirit cave? Phuong Vien said to everyone, this isn't the time to argue. Let's go get detoxed first. The girl quickly led them to her home. Parents, come see who I brought back. Tudong's mother looked at the strangers her daughter had brought and asked, who are these people? The girl replied quickly, they're from elsewhere. I met them on Mount Tai Thursday. They've all been poisoned by the red spider lily. Quick, cook a pot of 5 poison soup. The mother responded at once. All right. Everyone wait a moment and go sit in the room. After the group sat down, the 3 of them in the household hurried out bowls of detox soup, the 5 poison broth. Here you go. In front of them was a bowl filled with all kinds of poisonous scorpions, centipedes, bone pests, and other ingredients, steaming and fragrant. Long Thuong looked terrified. Jung Hung Dike, you're healthier than me. Why don't you eat first? Hung Dike hurriedly refused. No way. I'm just pretending to be picky. Go ahead and eat. While the 2 of them were pushing the bowl back and forth, Kyo Do down the 5 poison soup in one gulp, thinking hurry and finish. Soon my HP will be down to half. He drank it clean, feeling revitalized, and smiled. Not too salty or bland, just right. The 5 poison soup really works. His poison status disappeared. Everyone, drink up and restore yourselves. Who knows what dangers lie ahead? The others, not suiting the taste, began to vomit and feel dizzy. Only Kyo Do sat leisurely, chatting with Tudong. Can you tell me about the origin of the 10,000 spirit cave? Tudong looked at him and answered, I don't really know the tribe's origins. I only know the chieftain forbids people from leaving and strictly bans casual use of poison techniques. Her mother clenched her hand and said to everyone, all right, the poison's been cured and you're safe. Leave now. Our 10,000 spirit cave doesn't welcome outsiders much. Tudong quickly turned to her mother. What? Mom, why are you like that? It's so rare to have visitors from elsewhere. Why chase them away? The girl spun around with a smile and reassured them despite her mother's worry. Don't worry. Don't listen to what my mom says. Stay as long as you like. Kyo Do looked at the girl. Then sorry to trouble you. We just got detoxed and still don't feel great. He thought to himself, why are Tudong's parents acting so strange? The girl went out and locked the room door. All right, you rest here and recover. I'm going outside. Tudong took the 2 of their hands under the red-tinged moonlight. Mom, Dad, let's go. The girl smiled brightly. Tonight is the full moon, we must proceed. In the forest, The faint red light of the moon filtered through the leaves. A large group had gathered. Under the blood moon, Chieftain Zhang performed a ritual with the tribespeople. Great larvae, please protect us. Grant us favorable weather, health, and we'll offer you the freshest human flesh. He spoke, and a drop of dark red blood fell into the basin. Immediately thousands upon thousands of ancient insects emerged below, forming a black mass. They swarmed forward, gnawing away at people's flesh bit by bit, driving them into desperate terror. After a short while, 2 people were suddenly reduced to skeletons. Huang Vin was horrified at the scene. My God! They're eating people. Qiu Du bowed his head slightly and lowered his voice. Retreat first and talk later. These venomous creatures plus many tribesmen won't be easy to handle. He thought to himself that although his attack power was very strong, he lacked any group-oriented skills. The chieftain seemed to have noticed them and turned toward a nearby thicket. I see a few little mice. Qiu Dong propped her chin with a hand as if leisurely enjoying a joke. A burly man with a fierce face strode forward. Yes, chieftain, the girl ordered. Go. Her lips parted slightly as she instructed those below. Don't kill them. Capture them alive. After returning to the room, the 5 of them were all tense. Huang Vin asked, what do we do now? She then turned to Qiu Du and said, look at how reverent those tribe members are. If they find out we killed their larvae, we'll probably become food for the insects. Qiu Du immediately raised his guard when he heard a strange sound. What's that noise? The room was suddenly crawling with scorpions. Everyone panicked and shouted, they're larvae! There are them all around. Huang Vin hurriedly used spiritual power to create a pale yellow streak of light, the scorching fire barrier. Qiu Du gripped his weapon hard as a blue light flashed. Melee targets are too weak to grant attribute points. If killing larvae gave attributes, I'd have gone searching everywhere already and poured boiling water on them. Skills kept being unleashed, making everything erupt as fragments flew everywhere. Earth Beast devastating great blast. Qiu Du glanced at Hung Daik, who was sweating slightly, and praised. Not bad. Jung Hung Daik, those 2 skills of yours can chain together. Hung Daik gripped his weapon and said, don't remind me. Casting those 2 back-to-back almost drained all my mana. At that moment someone appeared. You lot are too bold. Siu Jai frowned and clenched his hands, staring at them. I only meant to teach you a lesson, but you used sorcery to kill all the insects in my 10,000 poison lair. You will become food for the larvae, torn apart by countless bites in agony. Hung Daik attacked him, and immediately a burst of yellow AMG corruption erupted. -11 Earth Rupture Magic. Siu Jai scowled at them with a displeased expression. You overestimate yourselves. Do you think relying on your group can hurt me? The system displayed an NPC info panel. Common NPC Siu Jai, Level 10, HP 289/300, Strength 40, Defense 20, Agility 15. Skill: Larva Devour, controls poisonous larvae. Unlike bosses and wild monsters, NPCs in this world can hide their attributes when uninjured. Long Thuong couldn't believe his eyes and shouted, how can this match Siu Jai's attributes? It's almost boss level. Huang Vin was equally shocked, sweat soaking both their faces. This 10,000 poison lair task clearly isn't meant for newcomers to complete. Qiu Du pressed his lips together and made a fist, thinking, could privileged dungeons be different? Then he dashed towards Siu Jai like lightning. Humph! Don't overestimate yourselves. Do you think this soft little punch can charge me? You're nothing but a flock of rookies. Siu Jai can easily beat 10 of you. As soon as he finished speaking, Qiu Du's punch successfully removed 121 HP.
Cự giải, Enray, Radiatek Killing Inten.
This cannot be just a human. How could I be hurt? Larva Devour. The system again displayed. Common NPC Siu Jai, Larva Devour state. Level 10, HP 379/500, Strength 60, Defense 70, Agility 20, Skill: Larva Devour, controls poisonous larvae. Long Thuong and Huang Vin hurriedly raised their hands to shield themselves, exclaiming, its attributes increased again. Its defense multiplied. Siu Jai's eyes were blood red. No one can deal damage to my defense. Use your blood to sacrifice to my larvae. Kyo-do frowned and silently watched him for a moment. Siu-jai collapsed, battered and swollen-faced, watching Kyo-do walk away as the system again announced. Common NPC Siu-jai, level 10, HP 23/500. Kyo-do looked at him and asked. In the frightened voices of the companions they added, "That man is terrifying, speak truthfully. What was your ritual offering earlier? Who was that woman?" Siu-jai, his face swollen and distorted, struggled to say. "That was our chieftain leading the larva sacrifice ritual for the 10,000 poison lair. We and the larva queen signed a pact. On the full moon we must bring fresh flesh to offer. That greenstone wellmouth is where the larva queen lives and breeds." Hung Dike looked at Kyo-do and said, "Do bro, I think I get it now. Why Tudong and her family helped detox us. They planned to make us the offerings for the next wave of larvae, right?" Kyo-do faced him and asked one last question. "Why does Tudong call the place 10,000 Spirit Cave while you call your tribe the 10,000 Poison Lair?" Siu-jai stared at him in bewilderment.
Tiểu Đông.
"Which Tudong?" he gasped, forcing out an answer. "In our 10,000 Poison Lair there's only one person with Dong in their name, the chieftain Tuan Dong." Wisps of mist rolled gently on the breeze. Kyo-do said, "I know now. Thanks for cooperating." Siu-jai looked at him. "No, it's nothing. May I go?" Kyo-do, seeing the panic in his eyes, replied, "You may." Then suddenly Kyo-do dropped a hand. Dead. The system quickly updated and checked. Player Kyo-do defeated NPC Siu-jai by unarmed combat. Reward: 10 free attribute points, plus 50 experience. Announcement sounds kept ringing. Congratulations, player leveled up successfully. Current experience: 10 out of 80. Free attribute points: 5. System congratulates player Kyo-do for killing the first NPC in this world by unarmed combat. Reward: S-rank item Sage's Talisman. Sage's Talisman, one-time use, S-rank item that prevents a single death. Kyo-do smiled happily, thinking to herself that Cap-S had indeed avoided death this time. This NPC could really obtain such a world-defying artifact. This must be the highest tier item in this world. So which one do you like better, big bro? Everyone in the team grew anxious. What should we do now? Sooner or later they'll discover their tribe was killed by us. Kyo-do alone can't handle them. Even a single villager is that formidable. If the chieftain can control venomous insects, how can we fight back? He glanced at them. The mission only requires killing all the insect larvae without harming the people in the 10,000 Venom Cave. If the Queen's lair is indeed in that ancient well, we have to destroy it. The whole group marched proudly, taking advantage of the fact that Tuan Dong had not yet noticed the situation here. This was the best chance for them to act. In the forest at the site of the ceremony, there was no one around. Let's move quickly. Phuong Vien stared in surprise at the two people lying near the well. Aren't these Tudong's parents? Did they even kill their own people? Kyo-do frowned, thinking that it made sense why their behavior had been strange earlier. Apparently not all the locals were evil. She spoke up. Ignore them for now. By time to destroy this stone well. Everyone quickly used magic on the stone well: fire, wind, earth spells, and explosive arts. A massive explosion rang out. The well vanished, leaving only a bottomless pit. Hung Dike hurriedly said, "With that force, the insect larvae should all be dead, right? But why hasn't the system shown mission complete?" At that moment a laugh rang out, making everyone turn around immediately. "Ha ha! You little rats, you really aren't obedient, are you?" The girl who appeared was the chieftain of the 10,000 Venom Cave, flanked by a pillar of the tribe. Quang Man being here meant Siu-jai must be dead. This was truly beyond my expectations. Kyo-do asked the girl in front of her, "Should I call you the chieftain of the 10,000 Venom Cave or call you Tudong?" The young woman immediately transformed into a little girl. Tudong closed her eyes slightly. "What a pity. I originally wanted to spare Big Bro and keep him to continue the clan line, but you've killed so many of my tribe's larvae. If I don't offer you up, the queen will be angry." Kyo-do looked at her and asked, "Why would you even kill your own people? Aren't they your parents?"
Tiwenage raplia indiferently. Ao parents.
She lowered her head. Her eyes became cold. They're just two useless people who wouldn't obey. A green light flickered in Kyo-doo's eyes. His emotions seemed long suppressed. Parents. So what? Hyudong looked at Kyo-doo and said, Big bro, I think you're angry. Don't be angry, she smiled wickedly, opened her mouth, and a strange light flashed inside. You are about to go join them. Immediately, a swarm of insects with purple eyes flew out of Hyudong's mouth. A powerful burst of energy shot straight toward Kyo-doo. Huang Vin frowned and immediately used his ability. Kyo-doo, we're coming to help you. Inferno! At that moment Kwang Mang descended from the sky where everyone stood, causing them all to recoil in panic. He sneered coldly. Long Thuong. Kwang Mang's whole body radiated murderous intent. Don't disturb the chieftain. Your opponent is me. The system displayed an information panel. Common NPC. Kwang Mang status. Insect brute rank. LV 20 HP. 500/500 strength. 55 defense. 30 agility. 30 skill. Insect brute. Controls venomous insects. Kyo-doo struck continuously, causing the enemy's health points to steadily drop. A blue light flashed in his eyes. In Kyo-doo's mind he thought, damn it, there are too many of these insects. If they keep wrapping around me, it's only a path to death. If I raise agility and defense to 166 points, like strength, maybe the current situation can be resolved. Could it be I should proactively use the Braveheart skill now? Both sides kept attacking each other, their powers clashing repeatedly.
Kyo-doo frowned.
Not good. Anyway, I still have the Graveguard shield. Can revive once. Gotta take the risk. To catch a rebel you must catch the king first. As long as we kill Tundong, these insects will disintegrate on their own. Tundong looked at Kyo-doo with a smug, happy expression. Big bro, have you finally seen reason? Want to offer yourself as food for the larvae? Tundong's eyes widened. Kyo-doo lunged forward, gripping and striking her forcefully. Tundong was hit and immediately grew irritable. Those who don't know how to value others, being eaten alive by insects bit by bit. Isn't that wonderful? The system displayed another info panel. Rare NPC. Tundong status. Insect brute rank. LV 10 HP. 1000/1000 strength. 30 defense. 30 agility. 50 skill. Insect brute. Controls venomous insects. Shapeshift. Kyo-doo was a bit surprised and puzzled. Why is Tundong rated as a rare NPC? But her stats aren't as high as Siyu Zayat's? This doesn't make sense. There's something off about this Tundong. Tundong lightly shook her hand. A stream of black aura appeared. She smiled softly. Big bro, you dented my belly when you hit me. If my belly is ruined, then what will you do? Immediately, agility plus 80. Kyo-doo instantly heightened his vigilance. Tundong struck down, purple aura exploding. D. She rushed straight in, attacking without mercy. The attack pierced straight through Kyo-doo's body. A mouthful of hot blood spurted out. Kyo-doo gritted his teeth. Damn it! Agility increased that fast. Had no time to react. HP. 9/80. Tundong lifted Kyo-doo up, her eyes full of glee. Don't worry. After you die, I'll skin you whole as a keepsake. Your skin will surely be beautiful.
Duong Hwang dich shouted in alarm, Ki-doo.
But at that moment, Kwang Mang descended with a strike, blocking Duong Hung Dike's path. Kwang Mang looked at them, snorted coldly. I told you your opponent is me, and you still dare get distracted. The info panel appeared. Common NPC. Kwang Mang HP. 312/500. Duong Hung Dike clenched his fists and shouted, Earthbound Beast Strike. Kwang Mang held his weapon, sneering, Fatty, you still don't seem to understand. Your moves are useless against me. He struck down hard. Your attacks on me are like merely scratching an itch. But at that moment, red streaks of light suddenly appeared around him, making him frown. What's going on? Why is the summoned sand this time red? But at that moment, Red streaks of light suddenly appeared around him, making him frown. What's going on? Why is the summoned sand this time red? Duong Hung Dike appeared with a completely different look, startling the Phuong sisters. Du bro? Who are you? Duong Hung Dike gripped his weapon tightly and said coldly, If you want to know, go ask in hell. Duong Hung Dike appeared with a completely different look, startling the Phuong sisters. Du bro? Who are you? Duong Hung Dike gripped his weapon tightly and said coldly, If you want to know, go ask in hell. He immediately dashed quickly toward Kyo Du. Du bro. I'm here to help you. Kyo Du looked at him, surprised. Duong Hung Dike. How did you change like this? Duong Hung Dike honestly answered, I don't know either. I was in such a rush that the fat on my body suddenly burned off. After that, my spirit attribute increased by nearly 300 points. Kyo Du frowned, thinking, Spirit attribute directly affects a skill's power. 300 points. Almost catching up to a mid-tier mage's spirit attribute.
Kyo Du suddenly grabbed ton dong tightly.
He shouted, Duong Hung Dike, use earth explosion magic now. Take us both out at once with Tun Dong. Tun Dong was ambushed and couldn't react in time. What are you doing? Let me go. Duong Hung Dike panicked instantly. Du bro, what are you saying? You'll die too. Kyo Du frowned and barked. Don't waste words. Trust me and act now. Duong Hung Dike gritted his teeth but complied in the end.
Du bro.
Earth explosion magic. Kyo Du and Tun Dong faced each other, eyes locked fiercely. Tun Dong screamed in terror. Let me go. I don't want to die with you. Kyo Du said coldly. It's too late. A desperate scream rang out. A colossal force erupted, creating a violent explosion. Phuong Vien and Duong Hung Dike worried so much they were sweating.
Du bro. Classmat Kyo Du.
The system announced, Critical damage detected. Sage Guardian Artifact S has been activated. Damage immunity granted this time. Then the system continued. Detected Kyo Du showing desperate courage to survive. Awarded passive skill a great power pack. The system announced, Critical damage detected. Sage Guardian Artifact S has been activated. Damage immunity granted this time. Then the system continued. Detected Kyo Du showing desperate courage to survive. Awarded passive skill a great power pack. Kyo Du slightly curled his lips. Oh, there's such good news. Looks like the system doesn't want me to die. He quickly calculated. Current strength 166 points. That means an extra 1,660 HP. Name, Kyo Du profession. Soulless mage rank. Apprentice, LV 8 strength. 167 demonic aura multiplier. Times 2 defense. 6 agility. 9 mana. 300/300 HP. 1740/1740 plus 1660 experience. 10/80 Kyo Du thought. Now I have nearly 1,800 HP. Later, maybe I won't have to worry about being one-shot by bosses. Duong Hung Dike rushed over and asked in astonishment. Du bro, I have 300 spirit points. Why didn't that explosion kill you? Kyo Du calmly replied. What? You're upset I didn't die. Then he folded his arms and added, Who says the dead can't come back to life? After that Kyo Du asked Duong Hung Dike, By the way, you just killed Tun Dong. Did she drop any equipment?
Duong Hung Dike stared dumbfounded.
Ooh, I didn't see a kill notification. It seems she's still alive. The smoky skeletal mist gradually dissipated, revealing a familiar silhouette. A voice echoed from the darkness. You hit me too hard. She slowly opened her mouth, her face hidden in shadow. But this time she no longer had a human form. Her entire body transformed into a monstrous insect, her eyes blood red, her smile grotesque. Ka, ka, ka. The system immediately displayed the info panel. Boss, Tun Dong rank, LV 15 HP, 2000/2000 strength, 130 defense, 80 agility, 100 skills, deadly poison, paralysis march, co-aggression. Kyo-do and Duong-hung Dike looked at her new form in astonishment. Is this her true form? Why are her stats so high? Kyo-do immediately said, Duong-hung Dike, use Earth Explosion magic once more. Duong-hung Dike shook his head worriedly. No, bro. My spirit attribute is down to 48 points. The spirit boost from burning fat doesn't seem permanent. The system screen suddenly turned red. Warning alarms sounded everywhere. Warning! 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 The 10,000 Venom boss has been empowered by an unknown force. This creature's combat power has exceeded rookie difficulty. Players, please leave the dungeon immediately. Repeat. Players, please leave the dungeon immediately. Kyo-do heard this, looked at Tundong, and asked, What about our exclusive instance dungeon? Duong-hung Dike clenched his fists and said anxiously, bro, run now. Facing a terror like that, surviving is already lucky. Why worry about the quest anymore? The system continued to announce, After calculation, if the 5 players cannot defeat the boss, please leave the instance. The exclusive instance will then reopen. Kyo-do frowned upon hearing this. What a joke. Principal Ko Bin Duong specifically instructed, I must clear the exclusive instance. He stared coldly at Tundong. No matter what kind of fused monster you are, you will die by my hand today. He glared at Tundong, his eyes icy. No matter what kind of fused monster you are, you will die by my hand today. The two immediately plunged into fierce combat. Damage numbers kept appearing. -124, -196. A barrage of skills was unleashed, both sides' HP steadily dropping. Tundong gritted her teeth, frowning as she thought, What kind of monster is this brat after all? Why is he still not dead? He's only level 8. Why is his damage higher than mine? Am I the boss? Or is he the real boss? A blue light flared in Kyo-do's eyes, filled with killing intent. Tundong grew even more terrified at the sight. How powerful is he? Exactly? How can a mage have such strength? As if realizing something, Tundong's red eyes flashed with a strange light. She suddenly paused, frowning as she looked at Kyo-do. Wait, could you also be one of Bok Trake's people? She widened her eyes, stunned. It must be so. Only Bok Trake could create a monster like you. After all, I was also a product made by Bok Trake. Kyo-do paid no mind and charged forward with his weapon. Bok Trake? Black Trake or whatever. Kidu. An emerald blue light burst from Kyo-do's weapon. Tundong immediately took a heavy hit. She mumbled, Kyo-do.
Kyo-do.
Could it be? Could it be that great man? That thought relentlessly swirled in her mind. Then why? Why do you want to kill me? Kyo-do's gaze was cold and razor-sharp, terrifyingly so. The system announced, Player Kyo-do killed the target with melee. Reward, 15 free attribute points. Experience plus 75. Congratulations, player, on leveling up. Current experience, 5/90. Additional reward, 5 free attribute points. In the forest, a purple light suddenly flashed. The system announced, the anomaly in the 10,000 Venom Cave instance has been resolved. Recalculating the instance. Congratulations to the 5 players for completing the Mage exclusive instance. The system is evaluating the completion level. Under the moonlight, the system kept announcing, Evaluation complete. Player Long Thuong rank F. Player Phuong Tam rank E. Player Phuong Vien rank E. Player Duong Hung Dike rank A. Long Thuong rubbed his head, blinking as he said, We cleared it. Immediately after, the system continued, Player Kyo-do rank S. Kyo-do felt power surging through his body. The system announced, the system will distribute rewards based on evaluation rank. S-rank rewards for player Kyo-do. Experience plus 100. Free attribute points plus 10. Skill book A rank, Gate A. Congratulations, player, on leveling up. Kyo-do murmured, Level 10 now. Only after reaching novice rank can a player be considered capable of defending themselves in this world. A finely crafted purple armor appeared before him. Kyodu looked at the soul core and said, "What's inside here?" The info panel displayed, "Conductive armor rank, B effect, plus 800 HP." Kyodu asked, "Is there a class restriction?" The system replied, "No, but requirement. Novice LV11. Kyodu thought, "This armor fits my great power-packed skill very well." Another item appeared, a mysterious ruby, a pale blue ruby sealed by an unknown power. Kyodu stared at the ruby before him. "There's such a strange item too?" Suddenly, the ruby glowed, as if wanting to merge with Kyodu's body. The system immediately announced, "Mysterious ruby has found an owner. Bound to host Kyodu. Activated the mysterious ruby. Player gains ability. Detect character attributes within a 10-level difference. Other abilities. Lock.
Dieu du Pondé.
This ruby bound to me automatically, and it has an ability not yet unlocked." From the space at the front of the instance, the supervising girl slowly stepped out. She looked at everyone and said, "Congratulations to the 5 players for completing the 10,000 Venom Cave instance." She raised her hand slightly. "This is an extra reward. I will increase your spirit by 20%. Upon hearing this, Duong Hung Daik's eyes lit up, extremely excited.
Dame du Bro.
"This reward is amazing. A full 20% spirit increase." The corner of Kyodu's mouth twitched. Yes. Yes. But inside he was screaming, "My spirit is 0. 20% of 0. Isn't that still 0? This reward is completely useless to me." Huang Vin looked at Kyodu with gratitude. "Kyodu, thank you for saving us. It's thanks to you that we cleared this instance."
Dieu du Merli nodded slightly.
"It's nothing. See you all later." Huang Vin looked at Kyodu with gratitude. "Kyodu, thank you for saving us. It's thanks to you that we cleared this instance."
Dieu du Merli nodded slightly.
"It's nothing. See you all later." Hearing that, Huang Vin smiled. "Kin do University? Then I'll apply there too." It seemed she had made up her mind. At that moment, Kyodu's system info panel appeared. Name, Kyodu rank, Novice, LV10 strength, 202 demonic aura multiplier, ×2 defense, 6 agility, 9 spirit, 0 mana, 500/500 HP, 2120/2120, plus 2020. Experience, 15/1000. Talent, the courageous heart of the mage, rank unknown, skills. Miracle strike, A rank full force pact, A rank equipment. Dried king ring, C rank skill books. Summon dried, F rank soul carving art, B rank gate A rank. At the 4th Academy Dining Hall, a luxurious building with a modern style. Ma Fai slammed his hand on the table, staring at Kyodu in shock. "What? You're already LV10? The class president frowned and thought, "An outdoor instance. Warriors usually have the advantage over mages. Logically, warriors should level faster than mages. So how did Kyodu manage it?" True Tu Noyet and Ta Truck watched Duong Hung Daik eating ravenously. True Tu Noyet asked curiously, "Putting that aside, are you sure this is Duong Hung Daik? He looks unbelievable." Ta Truck nodded too. "Indeed, this change is huge. Now he's even more handsome than Ma Fai." Duong Hung Daik chewed while holding a drumstick, snorting. "What's the use of being handsome? I have to eat a lot to get fat again. Otherwise next time in the world, I won't feel safe." Duong Hung Daik chewed while holding a drumstick, snorting. "What's the use of being handsome? I have to eat a lot to get fat again. Otherwise next time in the world, I won't feel safe." On Kai-Te Star City's news screen, images of geniuses kept appearing. The most important day of the year was University Entrance Exam Day. This exam was the next selection of talents. Even students admitted directly often still participated, because they all shared the same goal, to become the university's top scorer. The top not only gained fame but also received an extremely rare A-rank item. Ma Fai sprang up, brandishing his sword and shouting, "I'll participate. I'll definitely take first place among the warrior class." Ma Fai suddenly adopted a mysterious air and lowered his voice. "My dad said, this year's reward is different from previous years. The university top scorer this time will receive an S-rank item." Hearing that, Kyo-do put his hands in his pockets and walked slowly down the street, murmuring, "An S-rank item. I must win the university top spot this year." Just then, strange voices rose from afar. 7438. "Is that kid for real? He's at most LV10. How could he have killed it?" The other said, 9527. "Ignore it. Take him back and interrogate him and you'll know." Immediately after, two beams of light fell from the sky in front of Kyo-do. Two people blocked his path. Immediately, the mysterious ruby's power activated. Kyo-do frowned slightly, watching the two warily. "Who are you? What's going on with you two?" Info displayed. Name: 7438 class. Assassin rank: Novice level, 18 strength, 105 defense, 30 agility, 135 spirit, 25 next to him. Name: 9527 class. Assassin rank: Novice level, 16 strength, 95 defense, 28 agility, 125 spirit, 25. Kyo-do stared at them. Thoughts raced through his mind. They came all the way here just because of a dungeon boss. Could these be the Bok Trake Tuan Dong mentioned? So Bok Trake isn't one person, but an organization.
Kyo-du regrettait d'inwardly.
"I was too focused on fighting then. I should have asked more." Then he said casually, "You guys have the wrong person."
I'm Mapi.
9527 immediately said, "See, I told you it couldn't be him. Sorry, we mistaken identity." Suddenly there was a sharp slap. 7438 struck 9527 across the face. "Are you dumb? You believe everything he says?" He ordered coldly, "Attack. If he's a mage, capture him alive." The wind began to roar violently. The two assassins lunged in perfect coordination with their twin blades. 9527 gritted his teeth and said, "Assassins are natural enemies of mages. He didn't dodge, so he must be lying to us." But in the next instant, Kyo-do suddenly surged forward. A single punch sent 9527 flying. Dust filled the air. Minus 197 HP. 7438 froze. Just one punch. 9527 seriously injured? Even I can't do that. He looked at Kyo-do in astonishment. Besides, we hit him and he wasn't affected at all. This defense, this strength. Seems he's really not a mage. Kyo-do's blue eyes flashed with killing intent. He asked coldly, "Want to keep fighting?" 7438 immediately clasped his hands and laughed loudly. "No need to fight if we don't know each other. Brother Ma Fai, we mean no harm. Just a case of mistaken identity."
Sorry.
7438 immediately clasped his hands and laughed loudly. "No need to fight if we don't know each other. Brother Ma Fai, we mean no harm. Just a case of mistaken identity."
Sorry.
Kyo-do lowered his head slightly, thinking silently. An assassin LV-18 ranked only just over 7,000 in Bok Trake. How terrifying is that organization? He made a quick decision. Killing them would surely bring worse revenge. Better to let them return and report. Then Kyo-do turned and left. Before leaving he said, "Hope you two find Kyo-do soon. If Ma Fai can help, just ask." 7438 hurriedly waved his hand. "No need. Bok Trake is a legendary divine beast. Its body is snow white, with two horns on its head, a lion-like form, and limbs adorned with flame patterns. Legend says Bok Trake knows the names, appearances, and methods to eliminate every demon and monster in the world. Thus it has long been regarded as a beast that exorcises evil and brings good omens. Kyo-do sat before his computer screen, trying to look up information. Boktrake. What exactly is this organization? But he couldn't find any information. Kyo-do leaned back in his chair. My identity will be exposed sooner or later. Looks like I can't stay here any longer. With his current strength, he understood clearly, I'm no match for a powerful secret organization like Boktrake. Hands behind his head, he quickly devised a plan. The only way is to take the university exam. Even an organization like Boktrake wouldn't dare move against exam candidates. That would be a crime against the whole world. Then, entering Kin-do University would mean safety. He remembered someone, Principal Ko Bin Duong. He was the top sword cultivator in the world, famed as Sword God Bin Duong. Kyo-do thought, if Kin-do University isn't safe, then nowhere in this world is safe. After that, Kyo-do began studying the mysterious blue ruby. What exactly is the ruby from the 10,000 Venom Cave? He carefully examined every detail. Could this be the unique feature of a personal dungeon? A thought suddenly occurred. Is this something my parents left for me? Kyo-do fell into thought. But how did my parents know I would clear this instance? And how could they leave something inside the instance? He muttered, Tuan Dong, Boktrake, my parents. What on earth is going on? On the roof of a high-rise building, a group of people stood. A girl in a black cloak said, the cause of Tuan Dong's death still hasn't been determined. Two assassins standing before her reported, our intel was wrong. That person is not a mage. Moreover, he's very strong. He fought to the point that 9527 was seriously injured. The girl looked at them coldly. Useless. Her cloak billowed in the wind as she turned and left. Put Tuan Dong's death aside for now. The organization's next actions into city are the most important. The two immediately replied, yes, in the principal's office. The principal said, tell me, Kyo-do, is there something you need my help with? Kyo-do answered, it's not anything too important. I just want you to take a look at this ruby for me. He took out the ruby. This is an item I received in a personal instance. It seems to be sealed. Can you see a way to open it? Teacher Kim Long carefully examined the ruby. Sealed. Without the passcode, you can only use an unsealing key. Kyo-do asked again, an unsealing key? The principal looked at him seriously. Yes. The seal on this ruby isn't very strong. An unsealing key can break the seal without damaging the item inside. Kyo-do immediately asked, so, where can I find that key, sir? E-rank instance, the land of machines. The principal warned Kyo-do before he left. Be careful. This is an open instance. Other players may conspire to cause trouble and put you at a disadvantage. Before Kyo-do was a modern city with tall buildings. The land of machines. Human territory, machine city. Kyo-do looked around at the scene. Is this the open instance, the land of machines? He recalled the principal's words. This place once saw a great war between humans and machines after the machines gained consciousness. The war lasted a long time. Eventually, the two sides signed a peace treaty. The city before him was the place called the Land of Machines. Kyo-do walked while thinking. The principal said, if I want the unsealing key, I can only receive the hidden quest from Hoa Quan, the city lord of Machine City. But how do I meet the city lord? Just then, an old man with a snowy beard and thick glasses was muttering as he walked. MC of Two Hats by HV. Actually, it's due to particles. Not the speed of light in vacuum. No, he wasn't watching where he was going. BM, he accidentally bumped into two burly young men. Ouch! The old man trembled.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
The hulking youth barked. Old man, how do you walk like that? Was that on purpose? Kyo-do heard the commotion from a distance. The man continued to shout, you hurt me. You must compensate. The other chimed in, right, compensate. The old man panicked.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
One of them grabbed the old man's leg and lifted him. Money? I asked where your money is? The other sneered wickedly. This old man probably has no money. Kyo-do immediately stepped forward. In broad daylight, you dare bully an old man in the street? A model young man of the new century like me cannot stand by and do nothing. The thug folded his arms and looked at Kyo-do. Kid, stop minding other people's business. Or are you going to pay for him? Kyo-do clenched his fist. All crimes will ultimately be punished by the law. Immediately after he made his move, momentum surged. Boom! A punch sent the thug flying. The other man's mouth fell open in shock. He immediately clasped his hands and begged. Brother, we were wrong. We apologize to you and the old man. Can you spare us this time? Kyo-do said coldly. Get lost. Yes, yes. The two of them hurriedly ran off. Kyo-do turned to the old man. Are you all right? The old man tremblingly took out some money. I only have this little money. Kyo-do immediately shook his head. I'm a model youth, born into happiness and raised under the red flag. Please don't lump me together with those men. The old man was moved. Thank you. But sadly I have nothing to repay you with.
Kyo-do smiled faintly.
You don't need to repay me. But I'd like to ask you something. Do you know how to find the city lord of Machine City? The old man looked at Kyo-do, somewhat surprised. You want to find the city lord?
Kyo-do nodded.
Yes, you are. Kyo-do told the old man. I need an item called an unsealing key, and only city lord Hoa Quan has it. The old man stroked his beard and smiled kindly. What a coincidence. I can't help with everything else, but I can help you meet the city lord in this matter. Kyo-do was overjoyed. Really? Thank you very much. The old man said, let's go. But he also warned, getting the city lord to hand over the item won't be easy.
Kyo-do smiled confidently.
That's only because you don't know my strength. Actually, I only used a bit of power earlier. On the roof of a building, the two young men from before were resting. One asked, tell me, has the city lord found the person he wanted? The other shook his head. No idea. He recalled Kyo-do's punch from earlier. But that youth is the strongest player I've ever met. In the land of Machine's laboratory, a man in a black robe stood. Someone reported, Professor Hoa Quan wants to hold a symposium again tomorrow. The man in black said coldly, this time, I don't care what method you use, but you must capture him for me. The other bowed his head. Yes, Lord Mongduk. In front of a vast, luxurious villa, the old man said, young man, the city lord you want to meet is inside. Kyo-do thanked him. Thank you, sir. He looked up at the building before him. Is this Hoa Quan's castle? He suddenly wondered. Why can this old man move about freely in here? Kyo-do turned to the side. But the old man had disappeared. Sir, where did you go? He shook his head. Never mind. Find the city lord first, get the unsealing key, then deal with everything else. Kyo-do pushed the door and walked in. The door opened. Before him the old man sat in the main chair, flanked by the two young men from earlier. Kyo-do was stunned at once. You, and those two. The old man looked straight at him and said, yes, in fact I am the city lord of Machine City.
Hoa Quan.
He continued, and these two are the two strongest guards of the city. Kyo-do was surprised. But why would you?
Hoa Quan spoke Stanley.
Why should I have to act that play? He continued. Because I needed to find someone strong enough. Someone stronger than my two guards. He looked directly at Kyo-do. That person is you. Kyo-do was momentarily taken aback. Hoa Quan asked further. Isn't it you who wants the unsealing key? Just help me with one thing. I'll give you the key. System notice. Hidden quest unlocked. Hoa Quan said seriously, tomorrow I'll hold a symposium. I'll announce research on machinery and organic life. But a group of machine people want to seize my research results. They certainly won't pass up this chance. Kyo-do looked at him. I understand. You want me to protect you during the symposium. Hoa Quan shook his head. No. His eyes were slightly red. What they want is the machine heart. He stated clearly, I need you to defeat the sovereign of the land of machines and destroy the machine heart. Kyo-do didn't hesitate long. He immediately accepted the quest. Defeat the sovereign of the land of machines. Mong-duk, destroy the machine heart. Mata, reward. Unsealing key. Kyo-do thought calmly. They're just some machines. No problem. I'll take this quest. The next day, main hall of the research symposium, Professor Hoa Quan stood at the podium. Dear guests, we live in a society with an extremely advanced scientific and technological civilization. Thanks to human hands, from nature, the structure of DNA, to the binary systems of computers have gradually been uncovered. He continued, humanity was born from nature, and from nature we discovered the laws of life. To this day, the complexity of computers and artificial systems has nearly been able to rival life. Complex DNA sequences, massive data models. How much of life can ultimately be converted into data? That is why artificial intelligence was created. He continued analyzing, even if AI can operate according to Turing rules, we still cannot regard them as living organisms, like the machines in the land of machines. Although they have their own consciousness, they cannot reproduce the next generation by natural means. Hoa Quan looked around the hall and asked, so, can machines maintain a lineage? In the audience below, Kyo-do kept yawning as he listened. I don't understand any of this, he muttered. Why haven't those machines arrived yet? Just then, a crack suddenly appeared in the glass ceiling. Crack! A machine smashed through the ceiling and leapt down. It laughed coldly. Flesh is weak. Machines are eternal. The hall instantly erupted into chaos. Machines! Where are the security forces? The city lord's 2 guards immediately charged forward. One shouted loudly, "Get out! This is no place for you to be." But at that moment, a flash of golden light flared. The machine threw a punch. Bam! One guard was sent flying, grievously wounded instantly. It kept exerting its strength relentlessly. The machine laughed maniacally. Ah! See that? This is the power after converting the body into machinery. I possess the strongest body. Kyo-do watched the scene, frowning slightly. Ah! Clearly it looks down on us.
Actat Momen Hoa Quan Huriden Redchain Kyu.
Their target is me, he said sternly. This time I'll go with them to the land of machines. He frowned at Kyo-do. I'm betting everything on you. Kyo-do replied in a low voice, City Lord. The machine charged again. Ah! But at that moment a figure appeared on the ceiling crack. It was Mong-duk. He wore a mask over his eyes, his voice cold.
Professor Hoa Quan.
Come with me. Hoa Quan looked at him and said, Tell your people to stop. I will go with you.
Mong-duk's my sopti.
A metal cable shot out and bound Hoa Quan. That's sensible. Wouldn't it be better to do this early? He immediately arrested Hoa Quan. The hall was in complete chaos. Kyo-do stood there. His gaze gradually grew cold. The battle was about to begin. Brisk Rank laughed loudly. Ah! Lord Mong-duk, take that old man away first. I want to play a little longer. Hearing that, Mong-duk immediately left with Hoa Quan. Kyo-do waited for this exact moment before stepping out. He looked at Brisk Rank with cold eyes. So you're the one who boasted that you possess the strongest body? You humans cannot possibly understand the beauty and power of an upgraded mechanical body. Brisk Rank stepped closer to inspect Kyo-do, then sneered. No sooner had he finished speaking than Kyo-do struck first. Boom! A heavy punch landed. Minus 306 HP target info. Brisk Rank rare NPC level. 11 life. 194/500 strength. 86 defense. 40 agility. 90 skill. Mechanization, piercing cannon. Brisk Rank widened his eyes in astonishment. This power. Kyo-do lightly shook his hand after the punch. Sorry about that. The things you just boasted about. It seems I have them too. Brisk Rank stared at his body in disbelief.
Impossible.
A human could pierce my biomechanical body with a single blow? He collapsed to his knees. How could you do that? Kyo-do said calmly. Very simple. Raise your hand. Then hit once. Brisk Rank still couldn't accept it. How can a human body compare to a machine? Kyo-do said indifferently. In fact, I am the ancient form of the human body. Having said that, he stomped hard on Brisk Rank's back. Thud. Minus 102 HP. Brisk Rank screamed in pain. You? What do you want to do? Kyo-do said coldly. Speak less. If you don't want me to smash you into scrap metal, then fly. Take me to your land of machines. Kyo-do stood upon Brisk Rank's back, using him as a flying mount. The two swiftly sped toward the machine city. In his mind, Kyo-do thought, the city lord purposely allowed himself to be captured. He wanted to lead me to the land of machines, to destroy the machine heart. He murmured, City Lord, rest assured, I will complete this mission. Brisk Rank panicked inwardly. This one's power is so terrifying. Then why did he let Mong-duk take Hoa Quan earlier? No. I must report this to Lord Mong-duk immediately. A streak of golden light cut through the wind. The machine city gradually appeared ahead. In a laboratory within the machine city, Mong-duk stood before Professor Hoa Quan.
He spoke kindly, Professor Hoa Quan.
Sorry for using such a crude method to invite you.
Hoa Quan frowned.
Don't even dream it. Even if I die, I will not betray humanity to join the machines. Mong-duk showed no anger. He only said, Professor Hoa Quan, don't be so quick to refuse. First, look at this. Before them lay an object glowing golden. A machine heart. Its shape closely resembled a human heart. Metal conduits intertwined like blood vessels. Mong-duk looked at it with fanatic eyes. As you can see, this machine is becoming biological. Or, in other words, life is being engineered into machinery. A new evolution was about to begin. Before them, the machine heart emitted a blinding golden light. Mong-duk regarded it with zeal. What lies before you is a biologically functional heart, crystallized from humanity's intelligence on the evolution of machines. He smiled softly. I like to call it
Thanh thang.
The frail human body will be replaced. Machines will be the new heaven of the world.
Mong-duk looked at Hoa Quan. Professor Hoa Quan.
Join this glorious evolution. Hoa Quan looked at him with hatred. Humph. A human who willingly becomes a lackey of machines. A person like you. Calling you a traitor to humanity would not be an exaggeration. Mong-duk grew slightly angry. What did you say? But he quickly calmed himself. Very well.
Professor Hoa Quan.
Then watch this next. A number of bound humans were brought into the room. Countless metal tendrils extended from the machine heart. They pierced into those people's bodies. Blood instantly stained their clothes red. Ah! Help me! What kind of monster is this? Save me! The tendrils began to siphon the life from the humans. No! Don't! One by one, person after person, were pulled into the machine heart. Elsewhere in the machine city, Kyo-do had infiltrated the central area. A slew of machines detected him. Intruder detected. Eliminate the target. But in a flash boom, 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 Kyo-do wiped them all out. The system announced, detected player Kyo-do defeating low-level machines with bare hands. Reward, 1 free attribute point experience. +3.
Kyo-do chuckled softly.
Unexpected. Killing machines even grants attribute points. He tightened his grip on his weapon and stepped deeper into the base. I want to take out 10 of them. Back in the laboratory, Hoa Quan was so furious his veins bulged. Beasts! You are truly animals. Mong-duk looked at the machine heart and said calmly, Actually, it is a failed product. At first we wanted to create a machine that could sustain life for a long time. But as you see, we created a monster. Mong-duk looked at the machine heart and said calmly, Actually, it is a failed product. At first we wanted to create a machine that could sustain life for a long time. But as you see, we created a monster. He watched the heart pounding violently. It devours life, and it consumes more and more. At first it needed only one person. Now, it requires 5 people a day. Even I do not know its limits. Through the glass, the two watched the horrific scene inside. Mong-duk said coldly, "You could close your eyes and ignore it, but the price is that humans die every day."
Hoa Quang clenched his brow.
In his heart, he thought of only one person.
Kieu du.
Now, we can only place our hopes on you. At that moment, a machine rushed in to report. Bad news. Lord Mong-duk, a human with the ancient saint body, is charging straight into the base. Mong-duk raised an eyebrow. Oh, is that the one brisk Grank reported? Boom! A loud explosion rang out. A weapon flew through the glass and crashed onto the floor. From the crack in the wall, a figure stepped in. Kieu-du, his face darkened when he saw the scene before him.
Hoa Quang imediatan brighten.
Kieu du.
You're finally here. Mong-duk turned around. Are you the human with the ancient saint body Brisk Grank mentioned? He smiled coldly. Welcome to the land of machines. Mong-duk continued. Brisk Grank was our leading titan. I didn't expect him to die by your hand. Target info: Monstart rare NPC level 15 life, 2000/2000 strength, 118 defense, 100 agility, 80 skills. Overlord machinery mechanization.
Kieu du smiled faintly.
Dying by the ancient saint body. Is that so shameful? He looked at Mong-duk. Or, do you wish to avenge him? Immediately, 2 machine guards lunged forward. They unleashed their most powerful attacks. Kieu-du curled his lips in a slight smile. Perfect timing. More attribute points for me. He charged at once. Boom! A punch tore through a machine's body. The system announced, detected player Kieu-du defeating low-level machines with bare hands. Reward 1 free attribute point experience +3. Kieu-du continued a flurry of strikes. The machine couldn't react in time. Boom! The system rang again. Detected player Kieu-du defeating low-level machines with bare hands. Reward 1 free attribute point experience +3. Within seconds, the machine guards lay strewn across the floor. A normal human body proved stronger than the upgraded machines. Mong-duk stood silently, watching it all. Astonishment appeared in his eyes. Ancient saint body. Was what Brisk Grank said true? A mad thought began forming in his mind. If we could lure him to join the land of machines, and then carry out mechanical augmentation, unimaginable. What kind of terrifying monster would be created? In his imagination appeared an ironclad warrior of unrivaled strength. That would be the strongest warrior in the world. Kieu-du quickly ran to Hoa Quan's side. City Lord, are you all right?
Hoa Quang nodded.
I'm fine. He pointed ahead. Kieu-du, look over there. At the center of the laboratory, a giant metal heart was beating. Blocks of steel formed a bioheart. Hoa Quan said, that's right. That is the MTA organ. Target info machine heart, MTA level 15 life, 2000/2000 strength, 0 defense, 0 agility, 0 status. Mutating. A blackness began to spread across the heart's surface.
Hoa Quang grind his teeth.
They're using humans to nourish it, to give this machine real life. Kieu-du stared at the heart. So that's it, he said calmly. City Lord, even if you hadn't asked me, I would still destroy this. Hoa Quan looked at him. I rely on you. Mong-duk looked at Kieu-du. He decided to try one last time to sway him. Ancient saint body of humanity. Abandon the frail human form. Join this glorious evolution. Kieu-du did not answer. He slowly stepped forward.
Mong-duk frowned.
What is he going to do? In an instant, Kieu-du leaped onto the control panel. Then he rushed straight into the central area where the machine heart was located. Mong-duk immediately shouted, Stop! What do you think you're doing? Boom! Kieu-du punched the machine heart hard. -404 HP. Mong-duk flew over at once. Ancient saint body. Stop right now. Kyo-do turned his head to look at him. Then he raised his fist. Don't interfere. The laboratory alarm blared continuously. Warning. Warning. Danger level detected. Inferno grade. Owner required to withdraw immediately. Repeat. Withdraw immediately.
Kyu Punjet Mong Yuk Squali.
Boom. Minus 288 HP. One blow sent him flying. Mong Duk smashed straight into the wall. Crash. The wall was breached. His mask shattered. A face of fierce resolve was revealed. He looked at Kyo-do with crazed eyes. This power is terrifying. We absolutely must keep him in the land of machines. Kyo-do stood before the machine heart MTA. He raised his fist and struck down hard. Boom! The heart's life value kept decreasing. Kyo-do frowned, eyes full of hatred. Malicious abomination. Shatter. He delivered the final punch. A red flash flared. Kaboom! The machine heart exploded into countless pieces. Metal fragments flew everywhere across the laboratory. System announcement. Player Kyo-do successfully destroyed the machine heart MTA experience plus 100 detected player Kyo-do destroying the target with bare hands. Reward 3 free attribute points. Dark red blood poured out from inside the heart like rain. Mong Duk looked at the scene and screamed in fury. You dare destroy the MTA? Do you know how many hopes of our machines it carried? Kyo-do raised his blood-stained hand. He looked at it with disgust. Unimaginable. How many humans you fed it? He frowned at Mong Duk. TCH. You're clearly human. Yet you call yourself a machine. He frowned at Mong Duk. TCH. You're clearly human. Yet you call yourself a machine. Mong Duk stared at him. Wait. Listen to me, ancient saint body of humanity. He tried to calm himself. You are indeed very powerful, but before the great queen, you are not worth a fingernail. He extended his hand toward Kyo-do. If you come with me to meet the queen, join the embrace of the machines. Her Majesty the Queen will not punish you, but will give you a chance to redeem yourself through merit.
Kyo-do frowned.
The Queen, the ruler of the land of machines. Isn't that Monstar?
Hoa qua ni meditang spoke up. Kyu.
Don't listen to him. Kyo-do turned to reassure him. City Lord, rest easy. I have no interest in joining the machines. I only trust my own body. Mong Duk gave a quiet smile. Wait until you see the greatness of the queen. You will no longer think that way. Kyo-do stepped in front of him. Go. Lead the way. I want to meet your machine queen. Mong Duk said. Follow me. They entered a high-tech section of the base. Mong Duk walked ahead, holding a small device in his hand. He glanced at Kyo-do and smiled. While Kyo-do wasn't paying attention, a silver metal beetle fell onto his neck. It was a parasitic machine beetle. This creature can parasitize a human body, then gradually convert that part into machinery. Kyo-do had no idea. Mong Duk looked at him with greedy eyes. If it successfully parasitizes the ancient saint body, Her Majesty the Queen will surely reward me handsomely. The beetle brought a tiny syringe, ready to pierce Kyo-do's skin. But at that moment, slap, Kyo-do struck his own neck hard. The machine beetle exploded into blood and components. He clenched his fist. Knew it. You weren't honest. Mong Duk startled and turned around. What? Kyo-do charged straight in. Boom! Punch struck Mong Duk. He was knocked flying. The battle erupted again. Kyo-do frowned, his face darkening. No wonder he's a level 15 NPC. Takes a beating well. Mong Duk knitted his brows and snarled. Bastard! Don't you want to meet Her Majesty the Queen? Kyo-do looked at him coldly. You've come this far. And now you attack me. If I'm not mistaken, the queen you speak of is nearby, right? He took a step forward. Fine then. I don't need you to guide me anymore. Mong Duk swung his arm. A red aura flared instantly. Ancient saint body. You're like an invited drink you refuse but then get punished for. Break his limbs and hand him over to Her Majesty the Queen if you must. A gigantic iron arm emerged from his body. Anyway, The queen will reconstruct you into a new machine body. The metal arm slammed down. Bam! The two collided violently. Minus 230 HP.
Que du Froned.
Haven't you eaten?
Mong Duk Falin chết.
What? This is the ancient saint body? My full force attack. Kyodu gripped his metal arm tightly. Ah, I forgot. You scrap heaps of yours. Truly don't need to eat. They lunged at each other. The strikes boomed in succession. Minus 240 HP. The mask on Mongduk's face shattered into pieces. Stop! Let me go! Damn! I can't move. Kyodu jerked his head back hard, then smashed it straight into his head. Boom! Mongduk was flung far away. Dust and smoke filled the air. After a moment, he crawled out of the rubble. His eyes flashed. The ancient saint body of humanity. I cannot deny it. At first, I underestimated you. Target info Mongduk life. 432/2000. His entire body turned to metal. Next, I will give you true respect. Kyodu looked at him with disgust. Is this your true form? How ugly. Even if you beat me to death, I won't evolve by turning into iron.
Mong Duk rau.
Ah! Machine charge. He lunged forward. Kyodu clenched his fist. Fine. I'll get a bit more serious. A normal punch. Boom! The punch detonated the air. Dust and smoke billowed violently. Minus 480 HP. Mongduk's body shattered into metal fragments. System announcement. Player Kyodu defeated NPC Mongduk with bare hands. Reward 15 free attribute points experience plus 75 congratulations. Player leveled up. Current experience. 15/1100 reward 10 free attribute points congratulations to player Kyodu for becoming a junior mage. Kyodu was a little surprised. Oh, I've become a junior mage. Attribute notifications kept appearing. He looked at the key in his hand. Notification. Congratulations. Player completed hidden quest. Received unsealing key.
Que du Exaled.
The city lord's task is complete. I've obtained the key. He walked down the metal corridor. Now, time to meet the machine queen. Maybe she'll give me some top-tier gear. Ah! Kyodu stood before the huge metal door. He began entering the code on the control panel. Beep. Wrong code. Beep. Wrong code. Beep. Wrong code. Kyodu put his hands on his hips. Huh. There's a code too? If I had known, I wouldn't have smashed Mongduk already. He rubbed his head. Who do I even ask for the code here? Inside the room behind the door, a blonde girl sat in a chair, eyes on a screen. Someone entered the wrong code. She slightly lifted her head. A human. From past experience. They kill Mongduk and think the quest is complete. So why? Are they coming to me? Outside, Kyodu looked at the door and clenched his fist. Never mind. Using force is still easiest. He punched the door. Kyodu was slightly surprised to see the girl sitting in the chair. Huh! A human girl? Is she someone Monstar imprisoned? He stepped closer. Hello, miss. Why are you here? The machine queen looked at him. This human came from outside. A strange one. Kyodu softened his voice and asked, Miss, can you speak? What's your name? The girl in the chair replied calmly. The machine queen. Kyodu pressed his lips together. What? She says she's the machine queen? An NPC info panel appeared before him. Machine queen level. LV 48 life. 100,000/100,000 skills. Mechanical puppet, deadly beam, fatal storm. Kyodu looked at the HP number. Ho! How much? The queen answered calmly. 100,000. Kyodu stood still for a few seconds. Only one thought ran through his mind. An NPC with 100,000 HP. It must at least be an A-rank boss, right? He turned to walk away, then suddenly spun 180 degrees. Miss, no. Your Majesty the Queen. I took the wrong path. I'm really sorry. I'm leaving now. Just as Kyodu turned his back to leave, 6 long metal cords appeared behind the machine queen. Whoosh! The cords whipped around Kyodu. Ha! Ki-do was instantly tightly bound. The cords dragged him toward the queen. He struggled. Too tight. I can't move. The queen looked at his strained face. Her voice was calm. Don't be afraid. I won't hurt you. As Kyo-do was pulled close, the queen raised her hand to his forehead. Pink spark flashed. From Kyo-do's forehead, it transmitted to the machine queen's forehead. His memories immediately appeared in her mind. An ice cream under a blue sky. Two boys playing games together. A father and son playing basketball. Two people kicking a ball on a grassy field. In the city at night, crowds of people. Lanterns glowing brightly. The queen stood stunned. Is this the outside world? A beam of light shone down. No one remained around her. Only the machine queen stood alone, looking down from above. Before her was a vast world. Modern high-rise buildings. She murmured, "This world is called a dungeon instance. A simulated world." She murmured, "This world is called a dungeon instance. A simulated world." The queen sat with her legs crossed on the chair. "This simulated world has technical faults. As long as I stay in this room, I can avoid the instance being reset." She looked at the ceiling. "I don't remember how many times this instance has reset."
Kyo-do pondait slightly.
He put his hand over his face. The queen looked at him. Among countless repetitions of the world, only he came to stand before her. Her gaze hardened. "Such a rare chance. I absolutely will not let it pass." The machine queen signaled. The metal cords immediately released Kyo-do. He rubbed his wrists and asked, "Did you read my memories?" The machine queen shook her head.
No.
"It was an exchange. I will show you my memories too." A red spark flashed. Her memories flowed into Kyo-do's mind. He watched attentively. So that's it. No wonder how a D-rank boss like her could have such high level and attributes. The metal cords retracted. Kyo-do asked directly, "You want to go outside?" The queen answered without hesitation. "Yes." Kyo-do closed his eyes. His voice calm. "Then, kill me. Someone level 11 like me cannot defy the operating rules of this world." The machine queen lightly applauded. "No need to resist." She thrust her hand into her left chest. Whoosh! A black slit opened.
Kyo-do paniqued.
"What are you doing?" The queen pulled out a red heart. She said calmly, "We can exploit the world's rules you mentioned." In her hand was Machine Queen's heart item S-rank attribute. Mechanical creation. She tossed the heart to Kyo-do. "Just carry it with you. It will develop into another me. An item. Players can take it out of the instance." Kyo-do held the heart, slightly stunned. The queen continued, "When it forms a body, I will have an avatar, able to sense the outside world." Kyo-do looked at her. "Aren't you afraid I'll go back on my word? Leaving this world, you won't be able to do anything to me anymore." The queen looked at him, answering decisively, "Not afraid. In your memories, I saw no record of you breaking promises." She added softly, "Besides, I only want to see the outside world with my own eyes."
Ki-do was silent.
An NPC, developing its own consciousness and planning to escape the instance. This was truly hard to believe. The queen asked, "Well, have you decided?" Kyo-do looked at her and calmly said, "Besides agreeing with me, do you have any other choice?" The queen smiled faintly. "Thank you. All right. You may go." A system announcement rang out. "Congratulations to player Kyo-do for clearing the Land of Machines instance. Completion rating, a rank. Rewards, experience plus 55 free attribute points received. B-rank skill book, shaping technique C-rank item, brass listy effect. Increases attack power by 30% restriction. None." Kyo-do held the item, grinning. "Oh, plus 30% damage. This is pretty nice. Time to tell the principal to open that box." He used teleportation. Whoosh! Kyo-do appeared in Principal Tuet Kim Long's office. He looked around. "Principal, why is no one here?" In his hands were a glowing Rubik's Cube, a green key. Kyo-do said, "Well then, Use the unsealing key to open this Rubik first. The key fitted into the Rubik's Cube. Click, blue lightning flashed. The Rubik's Cube split into many small pieces.
Que du size widened.
A gigantic weapon appeared.
Thanh Long Yến Nguyệt Giao, Are de Dragon Cuvette Moon Belay.
Kidu was surprised. Is this what my parents left me? But why is it a blade? He checked its attributes. Nothing. No attributes at all. Then how do you upgrade it? Kyodu held the blade but didn't look happy. Also, I'm a mage. At that moment, bam! The door swung open. Principal Tuet Kim Long entered. He shouted loudly, Kudu.
Kudu jumped.
He spun around. Principal. Sir. I opened the Rubik's Cube. Principal Tuet Kim Long saw him and immediately panicked, shouting, Good heavens! Don't pay attention to the Rubik anymore. Hurry to the exam venue now. Otherwise, you'll miss the university entrance exam.
Kudu stood frozen.
Exam? The university entrance exam? A scream echoed in his head. Oh no! At the exam site, sunlight shone down on the school stadium. A large number of students had gathered there. 3 people approached. One was a student from First Academy, hands on his hips, asking the proctor, Can the exam start yet? At that moment, Hung Duong Dike stepped forward, cutting in, Wait! It's not time yet. We're still short of people. The First Academy student frowned. Fourth Academy? Another student laughed. Isn't the Fourth Academy just a bunch of useless kids? What's the difference between taking the exam or not? Wong Duongdich was angry. What did you say? The First Academy student crossed his arms, voice full of pride. At First Academy, we've always had the highest university admission rate. The city's top scorers mostly come from our school. He continued, Last year, Long Tuong from First Academy became the top scorer in the Combat University entrance exam. He sneered. Understand. This year is no exception. The top scorer's spot will still belong to our school. Another student added, You Fourth Academy students, why bother taking the exam? Go home. The group burst into laughter. Ah! The university exam is important. It's not time yet. They're probably too scared to come. The 2 groups faced off. Spectators around them watched lively. Hung Duong Dike gritted his teeth and said, Someone like Du only needs 1 punch per person. The First Academy students laughed loudly. Oh, 1 punch per person, huh? Come try it. He curled his lip. Better. I'll see you at university. I'll show you what 1 punch per person really is. Aside, Ta Truck stood next to Tru Tu Noyet. She looked around with worried eyes. Why hasn't he arrived? The exam is about to start. She whispered, Kyo Du, where are you? Class President Ma Fai stepped forward, holding a sword, shouting, First Academy, listen to me. Your school's legend will be ended by me. He stared straight ahead. My opponent is only 1 person.
Kudu.
In Ma Fai's mind he thought, Kyo Du, that annoying guy. Why still hasn't he arrived? Outside, Kyo Du was running at full speed. Damn it! Almost there. Hurry up. At the exam venue, the proctor turned and asked, Teacher of Fourth Academy, the exam is about to start. Is your team complete? The Fourth Academy teacher replied softly, Perhaps. Could you wait a little longer? He looked toward the school gate with expectant eyes.
Kudu. Kudu.
If he still hasn't arrived, he will miss the university exam. Just then, a loud call rang out.
Du.
Hung Duong Dike ran over excitedly.
Du.
You're finally here. Kyo Du stepped into the exam stadium. A light breeze blew. Sunlight shone down, making him stand out among the crowd. He said nonchalantly, Finally, your father has arrived. The group of First Academy students murmured among themselves at a distance. Because of this guy, did we have to wait so long? Yeah, wasting our time. Ta Truck frowned in annoyance. It's not even time yet. What are you all in such a hurry for? A First Academy student scoffed. Of course we're in a hurry. Hurry to send you all home. Then, seize the top university spot. Kyodu paid them no mind. He turned to Hung Duong Dike and asked, where did these idiots come from? Hung Duong Dike answered, they're students from First Academy. Hearing that, the other students became enraged. Bastard! What did you say? When we get on the arena, don't fall into my hands. Another student sneered. Ignore them. They're just trash from Fourth Academy. Kyodu gave a cold smile. People from First Academy? Are all this stupid? He continued, hopefully. When we get on the arena, you can keep this attitude. He pointed at himself. This year's university top scorer is Kyodu. You won't take it from me. The students turned red with anger. You bastard! Do you want to die? At that moment, someone stepped forward. It was Ko Tuesday. He spoke calmly. That's enough. Our only goal is the university top scorer. If anyone causes trouble, before he finished, the students panicked. Ko.
Sotu.
We're sorry. Watching them retreat, Kyodu, Hung Duong Dike and Ta Truck were all surprised. Ta Truck said, strange. Why did they stop causing trouble? A voice rang throughout the hall. All the students fell silent immediately. It's time. The official exam begins. A man stood on the podium. He spoke clearly. I am the chief examiner for this exam, Kendong. He continued. No lengthy remarks. This university exam will adopt an elimination system based on cumulative points. Exam rules. Win one match, plus 2 points, lose one match, minus 1 point consecutive wins, plus 1 bonus point consecutive losses. No additional deduction then, after 10 rounds, the 10 students with the highest scores will compete against each other to select the champion. Kendong asked loudly, does everyone understand? All the students answered in unison. Understood, he announced. I declare. The third to City University exam, 1980, officially begins. In the stands, parents and teachers cheered together. Come on. A chance to change fate is before you. Go, my daughter. You can do it. In the mage's area, Kyodu was already standing, waiting for his first match. The first round's task began. It was said this exam used one-on-one rules. A contestant's life value would only drop to a minimum of 1 and they would not die. Kyodu looked at his hand, thinking to himself, that means I can strike without holding back. On the stands, Long Tuong, last year's combat track top scorer, stood with 2 teachers observing the contestants. One teacher asked, Long Tuong, which school do you think will produce this year's top scorer? Long Tuong smiled. The university top scorer naturally belongs to our First Academy. At the arena, the proctor announced loudly, Arena number 108, First Academy, Long Diet Tien, versus Fourth Academy, Kyodu. Hearing the opponent's name, Kyodu slightly frowned. Long Diet Tien? Long Diet Tien gripped his weapon. He said irritably, unbelievable. We meet again in the first round. Kyodu replied nonchalantly, so your name is Long Diet Tien. What a grand name. He deliberately emphasized each word. Long Diet Tien. Long Diet Tien instantly flew into rage. Are you looking to die? Don't you dare call me that. I'll rip your mouth apart right now. The proctor looked at the two. Ready. Both responded in unison. Ready. The proctor continued. Both sides, introduce yourselves. Both looked bewildered. Long Diet Tien barked in annoyance. Damn it. Why this rule? Can't we just fight? Kyodu said calmly. I wondered the same. Despite his irritation, Long Diet Tien had to introduce himself. First Academy. Long Diet Tien. Level 9. Lightning Element Mage. Kyodu also spoke. Fourth Academy.
Kyodu. Level 11.
Novice Spirit Mage. Long Diet Tien was stunned. What? Novice. The proctor was surprised too. Already reached Novice Mage before the exam. Looks like a potential candidate for top scorer. He shouted, "All right, introduction's over. Begin the fight." Long Diet Tien, half afraid, tried to reassure himself. Damn it. Whatever. Lightning magic counters spirit magic. So what if he's a novice? Doesn't mean I can't win. He began to cast magic. Lightning barrier dome. Lightning crackled and surrounded his body.
Que du remède motionless.
Not a single move. In the stands, people buzzed with talk. Look, a lightning mage, one person said. They say the awakening rate for lightning is only about 1/1000. Almost like a hidden profession. Another nodded. Indeed, lightning mages are considered the most explosive among the elements. Long Diet Tien finished his spell. He stared at Kyo-do, sweat beading on his forehead. As for Kyo-do, he still stood calmly, as if waiting for the other to strike first. Someone in the stands noticed the oddity. But that lightning mage seems to be on the defensive. Isn't that like cutting off your own arm? Lightning mages aren't good at defense. Everyone looked at the composed Kyo-do. Is that youth really his opponent? Why force a lightning mage into that style of fight? Long Diet Tien shouted challengingly, "Come here. Let me see the strength of a spirit mage like you."
Que du.
But very quickly, he realized something was off. Long Diet Tien frowned. Why? Isn't he taking out his staff? Is he planning to forfeit? In the stands, a teacher asked Principal Tuet Kim Long. Old Teat the Devil, this Kyo-do, isn't he the student you directly admitted to Capital University last time? Is he not going to make a move? In the stands, a teacher asked Principal Tuet Kim Long. Old Teat the Devil, this Kyo-do, isn't he the student you directly admitted to Capital University last time? Is he not going to make a move? Principal Tuet Kim Long merely smiled lightly. Heaven's secrets cannot be revealed. Everyone, just watch. He looked down at Kyo-do, thinking, that kid is truly a monster. Even the Capital University's recruitment teacher was knocked away by him with a single punch. Beside them, Long Tuong said with interest, "Oh, then, let me see how your spirit mage fares against a lightning mage." Below the arena, Long Diet Tien was stunned, because Kyo-do was walking straight into his barrier. Lightning crackled continuously, yet Kyo-do kept advancing. Long Diet Tien widened his eyes. He's coming? He watched Kyo-do approach. What is he going to do? Why isn't he summoning a spirit? Kyo-do kept walking. Each step was struck by lightning. -92, -95, -98. Long Diet Tien panicked. What the hell is this? You. What kind of monster is this? How dare you walk straight into my lightning barrier? He couldn't understand. Spirit mages. Aren't they supposed to be most vulnerable to lightning? So why? Not only Long Diet Tien. The entire stands gaped. Holy crap. What is happening? Is this a mage's match? Aren't mages supposed to stand back and cast? Is this kid crazy? At that moment, Kyo-do donned a new accessory on his hand. Brass glove listy grade C effect. Plus 30% critical rate, no class restriction.
Que du accélérated.
Whoosh! He lunged straight at Long Diet Tien.
Que du smile de maliciously.
Perfect. I'll use you to test my new gear. Long Diet Tien gaped, sweat pouring down his face. Wait. What are you going to do? Boom. Kyo-do swung his fist straight into his stomach. A red flash burst forth. Critical hit.
Que du S attaque l'undead.
1144. Long Diet Tien was blasted away. Bam! A huge explosion rang out. Long Diet Tien lay motionless on the ground. His mouth gaped, fresh blood spurting out, eyes rolled back. His life value remained 1/190. Light wisps of smoke floated around Kyo-do. He looked at him and said, "Remember this? You owe me a life." In the stands, people couldn't believe their eyes. No way. Am I dreaming? What did I just see? One person said in horror. A spirit mage using a normal body to resist lightning. Then, with a single punch, blasted over 1,000 life points off his opponent. An excited teacher grabbed Principal Tich Kim Long by the collar. Old Teeth the devil. I could swallow a body resisting lightning, but seeing he used iron gloves. I've seen that before. He pointed down at the arena where Kyo-do was smiling brightly. But that kid, with one punch, took over 1,000 HP from his opponent. You call this a spirit mage? Principal Tich Kim Long calmly adjusted his collar. A spirit mage's strikes being a bit stronger. So what? Kyo-do has trained in martial arts since childhood. His moves and striking power are polished. This is perfectly reasonable. The teacher snapped angrily. Reasonable, my foot. Beside him, Long Tuong looked down at the arena with fascination. How interesting. A spirit mage can do this. If his physique is already this strong, then his spirit magic. How powerful must it be? It's truly something to anticipate. Scene change. In a room, Ko Thieu was sitting reading. Suddenly, a student rushed in. Ko Thieu, he was panting. Long Diet Tien has been defeated. It was 4th Academy's guy. With just one punch, Ko Thieu remained seated, calm as if he'd expected it. I know. He does have some ability. First, 'cause some trouble for him. Ko Thieu looked up, his gaze icy. The university top scorer can only belong to 1st Academy. In the stands, people continued to buzz. This must be a cultivator infiltrating the mage's exam, right? Facing a lightning mage's bolts directly. Even iron men couldn't do that. A passerby joked, May I ask, is he Saitama or what? Kyo-do stood beneath the arena, smiling modestly. Thank you everyone for acknowledging me. But he didn't know. Behind him, the deputy elder and a group of people in black with sunglasses were approaching. The deputy elder stood behind Kyo-do and said, Hello, Kyo-do. Sorry to trouble you. Come with us for a bit. Kyo-do turned around in surprise. Why? 2 men in black stepped to block his sides. The deputy elder said, Because your earlier performance was too abnormal. Someone has accused you of cheating. Right now. We need to inspect you.
Ki du was bewilderet.
Just because I performed too well. You want to take me for inspection? Is there no justice? Is there no law? The deputy elder looked him squarely in the eye. Then how do you explain how a mage could deliver such a high damage strike? Kyo-do answered very calmly, I have innate strength. The deputy elder didn't wait to hear more. He waved and ordered, Take him away first. The 2 men in black immediately dragged Kyo-do off. As he was pulled along, Kyo-do said, I really do have innate strength. In the stands, people didn't understand what was happening. The spirit mage has been taken away. Isn't this cheating? Someone said, No wonder. What spirit mage relies only on a punch and removes over 1,000 life points from an opponent? A teacher in the stands sneered smugly. Old Teeth the devil, your elite recruit, has been led away by the examiners. That kid must be using tricks behind the scenes, right? Principal Tich Kim Long crossed his arms and smiled lightly. Go watch and you'll see. Class President Ma Fai watched Kyo-do go and hesitantly said, When Kyo-do was in Mongyem village, he was that strong. Could it be also cheating? Ta Truck, hearing this, immediately shouted, Hey! Behind them, Hung Duong Dike also looked annoyed at the 1st Academy students' mockery. One in that group said loudly, I told you. How could a mage deal such high damage strikes? Definitely cheating. Another scoffed, I bet when they took the urine sample, there wasn't a drop of urine in it. Only stimulants. Someone else added, No need to guess. Just wait and see. After the inspection, there will be an announcement voiding his exam results for cheating. If you don't believe it, wait and see. Hung Duong Dike said angrily, Yes, just wait and see. Wait for my due to come back. Take the top score. Then you'll be crying. The group of 1st Academy students laughed loudly.
Ah.
You better pray he can come back before you talk. At the inspection area, a spatial gate glowed, golden electric sparks shimmering. The deputy elder led Kyo-do to the gate. He ordered, "Go through the inspection gate." Kyo-do showed no fear. He strode through the gate with head held high. He sighed inwardly. Indeed, genius is always accompanied by suspicion. After the inspection finished, Kyo-do stepped out. No abnormal data was detected. The deputy elder still didn't believe it. He ordered, "Go through again." Kyo-do stood in the inspection gate again. The results were the same. No abnormal data. The deputy elder turned to the guards. "Check the gate. See if the equipment is broken." Yes. The group of guards immediately inspected the equipment. After a while they reported, "The inspection gate has no problems." The deputy elder looked at Kyo-do. He thought to himself, "So that means this kid, relying only on physical strength, could deal over 1,000 damage." He muttered, "A close combat mage. Such a mage has never appeared before." A young guard asked, "So will this contestant be allowed to return to the exam?" The deputy elder ordered, "If the data shows no problems, then do a urine test. Check for banned substances. If it's normal, allow him to return to the match." In the stands, the second match was about to begin. Kotu stood in the stands, his gaze cold. "Ha! That guy probably won't be back in an hour and a half. Once the exam time runs out, the system will automatically rule a loss." Under the arena, an exam official and a contestant stood waiting. The contestant looked around, anxious, and asked, "Why hasn't my opponent returned yet?" He asked the exam official. "Sir, if the opponent never returns," the official replied, "then you will be declared the winner, and he will forfeit the match." In the stands, many spectators continued to speculate. Is the absent contestant that spirit mage? He's still not back. Someone said, "Could it really be cheating? I've suspected that kid was cheating for a while. Otherwise, how could one punch take over 1,000 points?" Inside the restroom, Kyo-do turned to the attendant following him. "Why are you following me?" A guard holding a paper stood behind and answered, "Per the rules, during sample collection, examiners must supervise the entire process." Kyo-do stepped closer and said softly, "Mainly because I'm afraid you'll be scared and pass out." The guard pulled his dark glasses down and looked at Kyo-do. "Don't worry. We've undergone special training." The sound of a door opening rang out. Kyo-do placed a hand on the guard's shoulder and said pityingly, "I told you not to follow. You'll get scared." After a moment, a yell echoed from the restroom, "Get out!" The guard then submitted the test report to the deputy elder. The deputy elder read the results. "Urine test. No issues." He nodded. "I know. Let the kid return to the match." The deputy elder looked at Kyo-do's file. It contained a photo and personal information. He read quietly, "So he's the son of Kyo and Ton." He was slightly surprised. Mage attack stat 500. Directly admitted student of Jingdu University. The deputy elder chuckled. "Ah. It seems this kid will bring quite a few interesting surprises." Outside, people still anxiously waited. Hung Duong-dike was restless. What to do? If Kyo-do doesn't return, he really will be declared the loser. The group of First Academy students sneered. A mage who lost over 1,000 HP from one punch. If it were you instead, would you believe it? One added, "Cheating and still wants to continue? Might be expelled already. He probably won't come back." Ta Truck angrily said, "The examiners said someone reported him, so Kyo-do was taken for inspection. It was your lot, wasn't it?" The students remained arrogant. "Little sister, you can eat carelessly, but don't speak carelessly. Do you have proof we did it?" He sneered. "Even if it were us, what could you do?" He continued, "Such unreasonable power. Anyone would suspect it, right? Even the examiners suspected he cheated. If not, why was he led away?"
Wong Duong-dich shouted angrily, "Nonsense!
Kyu-du definitely didn't shit.
He's about to return to the match. The other laughed loudly. Ah. You can live in your illusions. There'll probably be an announcement that his qualification is revoked. Hong Duong-dike ground his teeth. Those narrow-minded people are definitely up to something. Class President Ma Fai said in a low voice, they fear Kyo-du will snatch the top score. But their plan is about to fail. He declared loudly, even if Kyo-du isn't here, the top university spot will still go to us. But before Ma Fai finished speaking, Ta Truck suddenly widened her eyes. She shouted, Kyo-du!
Ma Phi Phro Rơ.
Hong Duong-dike was so happy he nearly cried.
Kyu-du.
You're finally back. The exam official looked at his watch. If contestant Kyo-du still doesn't arrive, this match will be ruled a loss. At that moment, a shout rang out, wait!
Kyu-du strode in arrogantly.
Once again he shone like a star, drawing everyone's gaze. I'm here. The exam official raised his hand. If that's settled, when the signal sounds, the match begins. Kyo-du didn't wait to be prompted. He introduced himself to his opponent, 4th Academy. Kyo-du Novice Spirit Mage, level 11. Everyone in the stands was stunned when he returned to compete. It's that Spirit Mage. He's back. So he didn't cheat after all. He really can take over 1,000 points with one punch. The 1st Academy students looked at him, livid. Huh. Didn't expect him to come back. Kyo-du's opponent stood tall and called out loudly, you don't need to know my name. He crossed his arms and said without fear, because by the time you arrived, I'd already lost. He raised a white flag. I concede. He turned and walked off the arena. Well, he didn't want to take a punch that cost over 1,000 points. Kyo-du hurried after him, calling out, hey, let me punch you once. Just one punch, okay? The exam official loudly announced, this match, Kyo-du of 4th Academy wins. Accumulation points +3.
Kyu-du puted.
Then the official continued to announce, Kyo-du wins 2 matches in a row. Accumulation points 5. Ma Fai, Hong Duong-dike and Ta Truck all ran down to the competition area.
Kyu-du.
In the 1st Academy's lounge, a group of students were talking with Ko Tuc. What now? That Spirit Mage returned. Ko Tuc bowed his head, his expression troubled. The report was only to make people suspect him. If he didn't cheat, of course he'd come back. Ko Tuc continued, but it's fine. I have a way to get rid of him. The top university spot. No one can steal it from us. Below in the arena, the referee raised his hand and called out, the match begins. Unexpectedly, Kyo-du's opponent raised his hand. Sir, I forfeit.
Kyu-du was instantly startled.
Why concede again? Don't you have any pride at all? Shouldn't you shout something brave and rush to attack me? The contestant calmly turned and stepped down. There's no such thing. Only the real pain of being hit is real. By the 4th round, the opponent also raised the white flag. I concede. By the 8th round, he even shouted loudly, I concede. Kyo-du, bored, no longer wanted to say anything. One of Ko Tuc's henchmen said, that Spirit Mage has won 8 matches in a row. He'll probably rely on that streak to advance to the elimination rounds. Ko Tuc merely smirked. Use our connections. Arrange for Su Thu-dung of 2nd Academy to face Kyo-du in the 9th round. The henchman was stunned.
Su Tie-dung.
He glanced at a slender figure standing in the distance. Will she agree to follow our arrangement? Ko Tuc said in a low voice. This is the university exam. You can't do whatever you want. As long as she wants good results, she'll be forced to give it her all in battle. In the 9th round, Su Thu-dung of 2nd Academy fought Kyo-du of 4th Academy. The boys in the stands immediately shouted, oh my god, that's Su Thu-dung. So beautiful. I'll gladly break my ribs to make broth for her. The person next to them immediately snapped in disgust. You sycophant. Move back a bit. The referee standing between them said, both sides, introduce yourselves. Su Thu-dung spoke first. 2nd Academy, Su Thu-dung. Level 11, Novice Ice Mage. In the stands, the senior teachers murmured among themselves. Hey, that old bastard. That's 4th Academy's best seed, right? Fasing Sutiedung. This match will be tough. Tich Kim Long only sighed. You people don't understand Kyo-do at all. Under the arena, Kyo-do cheerfully introduced himself. 4th Academy. Kyo-do, level 11. Novice Spirit Mage. Su Thieu-dung reached out and summoned an ice staff. Seeing her serious attitude, Kyo-do asked in surprise. Huh? Aren't you going to concede? She looked at him coldly. Why would I do that? Kyo-do immediately perked up. He summoned an iron belt. Finally someone who doesn't concede on their own. The boys in the stands immediately jeered. No way! Is this kid going to use a first-round tactic against Su Thieu-dung? One shouted. He dares hurt Su Thieu-dung. Tonight I'll throw dog poop at his door. Another objected. That's too much. How can you use such a terrifying weapon on such a beautiful girl? Seeing the violent reactions, Kyo-do flashed a grin and recalled his weapon. We're just joking. Fighting a beauty. How could one use such brutality? No sooner had he spoken. He summoned a blade. The referee beside him gaped. Oh my! Is he really a spirit mage? The referee beside him gaped. Oh my! Is he really a spirit mage? Kyo-do grabbed the blade and lunged forward like lightning. Su Thieu-dung immediately raised her staff. Ice wall. A thick ice wall sprang up and blocked Kyo-do's path. But Kyo-do didn't stop. He swung his blade and shattered the ice wall. Su Thieu-dung was horrified. She watched Kyo-do charging like a beast. She couldn't let him get close. Her skill could only hold him for at most 2 seconds each time. After breaking the ice wall, Kyo-do jumped into the air and then dove down. Su Thieu-dung looked at him coldly. Finally! I can wait until you're off the ground. She immediately cast her magic. Snow and ice surged like a gale. Kyo-do, you're very strong, but too arrogant. Your 8-match winning streak ends here. Eternal ice wall. At once, layer upon layer of thick ice enveloped Kyo-do. The speed was so fast his eyes widened in shock. In the blink of an eye,
Kyo-do was frozen solid.
the stands immediately erupted in cheers. Wow! Goddess Su Thieu-dung is amazing. She's only a novice mage, yet she froze her opponent without harming him. Su Thieu-dung truly lives up to being a child of ice. Kyo-do doesn't seem so impressive after all. Someone else said regretfully, If I'd known, I wouldn't have conceded so early. Such regret. On the high stage, the elders murmured. Old Teat, it seems Su Thieu-dung from our school is still a level above your student. Principal Teat remained calm with his hands in his pockets. Don't be hasty. Watch on. Another scoffed. The match is over. What's there left to see? Below, Su Thieu-dung asked the referee. Sir, haven't you decided the outcome yet? The referee explained. According to the rules, you win when the opponent concedes or their HP drops to 0. But look, he pointed to Kyo-do who was frozen. He's still losing HP. That shows his HP hasn't been exhausted. Su Thieu-dung turned and approached Kyo-do. She broke the ice covering his head and said coldly, Concede. You've lost. Kyo-do, numb from the cold, stammered but remained stubborn. Ha! I won't concede. She looked at him coldly. What's the use of holding on? It only increases the torment. At this rate of HP loss, it will be depleted before long. Kyo-do said nothing. He glanced up at the HP bar. Clearly, it still hadn't run out. Then, he forced himself to crack the ice around his body. Su Thieu-dung screamed in shock. What? She immediately cast her spell. Eternal ice wall. Layer upon layer of ice grew thicker and thicker. Su Thieu-dung thought in amazement. Finally, how strong is he? She hadn't expected him to struggle free from her ice wall. Kyo-do's head poked out of the ice and he grinned. Hey, how much mana do you have left? Su Thieu-dung broke out in a cold sweat. Why hasn't his HP run out? Out of mana. Kyo-do clenched his fist. He gathered strength through his whole body. Bang! The ice shattered to pieces. Su Thiu Dung's eyes widened. Kyo Du stood before her, smirking. He said arrogantly, "Little sister, I'm out."